Hello everybody, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the official Nick Walsh TV channel. We're back with more 50K challenge. It's going to be fun, guys. We're going to play some spinning goes, and we are going to get into it, guys. Let's take a look at how we're doing so far. I can give you a spoiler right now. We're not doing great. Let's take a look at the graph. Alrighty, so this is our chip graph. These are all the games that we've played in the 50K challenge, including a few at the very start when the spinning goes merged into the $10, the spinning go flash and regular speed games. And this is how we're doing in chips, guys. We are actually not winning chips. Obviously, like I've said 1,000 times before, I'm probably going to say it 1,000 times more. I'm sorry about that. Our results here, obviously, are not going to be representative of our overall skill because we haven't played enough of a sample yet. That goes doubly for the fact that now many of the games we play are effectively spin and go flash, and therefore we are going to need a larger sample in order to see what our true EV will be. If we were to filter this specifically for spins over time, you guys know that we've got a nice smooth graph like this, and that we should theoretically be doing fine in these games. But anyway, let's focus on what we're doing in the actual challenge itself. So merge spins only apply. So this is where we're at, and this is what we have to build upon, guys. How many games is this? Where are we at overall? This is 241 games. We are literally breaking even. We have an ROI of 0, and our actual EV ROI is going to be a negative number because we're not winning any chips. It means we're not winning any EV, which means we haven't actually earned any money. One moment, please, guys. Important pickup. Just 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. Bad timing, but that was an important delivery. So yeah, basically, guys, we're off to a slow start, but I wouldn't draw any conclusions from 241 games, especially since they've been merged. So this is what we're going to build on, and over time, hopefully, we'll be figuring out how to play these games a bit better. So, as we're off to a not-so-hot start. Man, I sprinted up those stairs. One sec, guys. Woo! Okay. As we have gotten off to a pretty lame start here, what I like to do in circumstances such as this, rather than getting bogged down with, oh man, I suck, I'm no good at poker, what if I'm a catastrophically losing poker player, I like to take it back to the study. Now, we've played 2-ish, 3-ish sessions so far. Let's call it 3 sessions since the Spin Go's have merged. And what do we know so far? Well, they're high variance, obviously. Well, okay, there's a lot of short stack play, obviously. Even more short stack than we would have been in the traditional reg speed. So I keep finding myself in situations that obviously I'm playing fine, but I probably could be playing them a lot better because they weren't coming up nearly as frequently as they do in the new game. So for example, 15 big blinds, blind v blind, right? 15 big blinds effective, blind v blind would not happen nearly as often in reg speeds as it does now when it's literally the way you start every single game if you're in the small blind. And indeed, if it goes fold to fold, then you're in that spot when the blinds move around. So before we kick off our session today, I'm going to open up some study stuff. We're going to take a look at some GTO Wizard material. Just to make it crystal clear, PokerStars is not currently open, guys. We are going to take a look at this in advance of our session and try and glean some information. So after yesterday's session, I went away and I gave it a little bit of thought. I've actually got a couple pulled up already. And I'd just like to consider some assumptions and some simplifications that we can make on how to play certain situations. So first things first, the most common situation that we are going to encounter is 15, 15, 15. 15 big blinds, 15 big blinds, 15 big blinds, okay? And we are going to also very commonly find ourselves here, which is 10 big blinds, 10 big blinds, 10 big blinds. Now, why is that true? Well, because most games, 2x and 3x, which makes up the majority of games we play, are 15 big blinds effective to start. You start with 300 chips and the blinds are 10, 20. And then, if nothing changes and all players have starting stack, then within a couple minutes, within 2 minutes, I believe, maybe even less, we are immediately into 10 big blind stack play three-handed. So what I want to take a look at here very, very quickly is three-handed, which will actually include some of our blind v blind stuff, at 15 symmetrical and then 10 symmetrical. And then also we're going to make some broad assumptions about how we're going to approach the uneven stack depths, so the asymmetrical spots. So this is 15, 15, 10, 15, and then this is 15, 15. This is 15, 10, 15, and this one is 15, 15, 10. What does that mean? That means that the player on the button has 15 big blinds, the player to the left has 15 big blinds, and the player in the big blind has 10. These are spots that we've obviously investigated a bit before, but for the most part, when we've looked at the asymmetrical, we've looked at stack depths that are more frequent to regular speed, which is what we used to play. So we're a little bit out of practice at these, and it shows, and I'm feeling a little bit unbalanced, so we're going to take a look at these, and we're going to start drawing some broad strokes. So this is on the button 15 symmetrical, and immediately there's probably a couple things that we're not doing. I mean, shoving 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s seems pretty easy. That seems pretty straightforward. What's interesting to think about here is if pocket 5s wants to be a raise not all in about half the time, that means that there is probably additional value in it being a non-all-in open in order to try and trap our opponents into shoving their 2s, their 3s, or 4s. That's kind of the whole point, right? Like in a game where there's a lot of pre-flop all-inning and it can contain smaller pairs, that is beneficial for us if we have 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, because that means we actually have significant equity from a portion of the range if we can convince them to call. If we're all in, right off the bat, some players are discouraged from calling with their smallest pairs because they feel like they might wait for a better spot, blah, blah, blah. That's not always how you should do, but whatever. So in the 2x multipliers where we have less wiggle room, I think it's probably safe to assume that we want to shove deuces to 5s pretty much all the time, three-handed on the button. I think simplifying ace 8, ace 9, ace 10 as just the jam pre-flop is going to be really good too. Putting 9-10 suited, Jack-10 suited, Queen-10 suited in there is going to be fine, of course. Like everything you're seeing here is going to be pretty hard to outperform. The ones that I think are going to be the most beneficial for us to deviate from are probably going to be the King-Queen off, the King-Jack off, the Queen-10 suited, the Jack-10 suited. The ones that have really, really excellent playability against players that call too much and don't 3-bet enough. Because if we're always jamming Queen-10 suited, we are definitely going to make money at 15 big blinds effective. We're definitely always going to be in a profitable situation. It's a nice combo, and we're all very short stacked. However, these are combinations that actually perform very well post-flop against players that are going to be calling with the wrong range. They're not 3-betting you enough, which puts you in negative situations. When you do find yourself in those spots, it's pretty gross. But there you go. You kind of got to figure it out. Just out of interest, let's say that we do raise a hand like Jack-10 suited. I mean, it might not even include it because it looks like it's playing it as 100%. We might not even see anything, but let's just see what happens here. Okay, cool. Basically, where are we at right now? Sorry, raise to 2 is what I meant to do. Fold. And player all in. Yeah, it's not even going to give us the ranking on it because it's going to do it 100%. So the reason it's grayed out is because it's expecting you to take a different line completely, which is fine. There is probably, if I was feeling a little bit more energetic, we might actually be able to solve for it if we forced it to play it that way. We could probably no lock, but anyway, that doesn't matter. The takeaway from this is I think that probably what we're going to have to do with those combinations, I would be incredibly surprised if we do deviate Queen-10 suited, Jack-10 suited, 9-10 suited to a min raise. I'd be very surprised if they weren't then calls. Same with King-Jack, same with King-Queen. All those kind of combos. That makes perfect sense to me. Simply because we're going to have mountains of equity against the 3-bet jam range. These will end up being dominated a little bit more. Anything with a 10 will be dominated more often, but there you go. Some of these suited aces might also perform better as a steal. Now, how do we apply this to the real world? How do we apply this to the real world? Let's have a think about why we're doing what we're doing, right? So if we're shoving Queen-10 suited, Jack-10 suited, 9-10 suited, we're trying to be unexploitable. We're trying to simplify. We're trying not to be outplayed. We're trying not to put ourselves in too many situations where we have to make a call that's going to be dubious when we know that the push is going to be good. I think simple enough just to say we should adhere to this against all regs, and then against unknowns we should deviate to have more steals, not all in with some of the gray ones that are have better playability. A6 to ace deuce, these ones as well. I think keeping these as pushes is probably going to be the best way to go, and actually like pocket fives. Yeah, like legit, like, you know, I think probably just simplify that in. I would default to probably just stealing with fives, but I think with the games being faster, the additional equity that we glean from being able to take it post-flop and, you know, having better playability or to trap the deuces, threes, and fours, probably not as valuable in the faster format. And I think that's something we're going to have to be aware of and cognizant of when we're playing. The faster multipliers are just going to probably be better for us to default to the more aggressive action that is immediately profitable. That gives us fewer opportunities to be outplayed. We probably get more hands in at a deeper stack depth, which is better for our EV when we're in better situations with more playable hands. But yeah, I think overall this one feels okay. Like this is one that we can feel pretty good about. Now, if we immediately go down to if we immediately look at the at 10-10-10. This is one that we probably know really well. This is one that we probably play very well. At 10 big blinds effective, which happens very rapidly in the 2x and 3x multipliers, you're playing essentially what is going to be a lot of push fold and just the raise not all in. The raise not all in consists of some of our most playable hands. King 9 off, Queen 8 suited, Queen 7 suited, King 5 suited, King 4 suited. And then obviously we're balancing that when we have, you know, 10s to aces as well. This one is one that we probably don't need to look at as much. And in fact, this probably isn't worth looking at. There's nothing in here that I think we haven't dealt with a lot. Even in the regular speed spinning goes, we would very frequently find ourselves at 10-10-10. So this is one that we've played a lot more than the 15-15-15. Not to say we haven't played a lot of that. It just means it was a lot less frequent in the previous structure. So we can probably get past this one and feel good about that. A couple questions in the chat before we continue. Tyler, what's up over there on YouTube? Good to see you. Sorry, I had to run. I had to get a parcel. It's important. Also, Robert in the chat says, but six-handed, I'm sure that 6-6 is not a jam. Actually asking. It depends from what position, Robert. So sorry, we're going back to this one here where we're talking about shoving, some of these smaller pairs. It depends from what position. If we're six-handed and it folds to the button and we're playing a non-ante game, we can play this strategy here. That's the cool thing about learning Spin and Goes, is that there is some transferable skills. So if we were playing a sit and go with no antes, because the antes will make the ranges slightly differently because there's more dead money, etc. If it folds around to the button and we have pocket fives, pocket fours, pocket threes, pocket twos, we can definitely be all in, and that's probably what we should do most of the time. However, yes, this is for Spin and Go specifically. We're studying for the Spin and Go challenge. So we're looking at three-handed. This is the button first act, if that wasn't clear already. So another thing that we want to cover before we proceed here, in fact, I'm going to reopen that solution that we just had. One second, guys. Because what we haven't touched upon yet is, why can I not duplicate this tab? There it is. So we'll make this one 10-10-10, symmetrical 10-10-10, and we'll leave this here because we're going to come back and look at the small blind a little bit more. But my expectation is that the small blind is going to be a very similar setup. So anyway, here's a spot that happens a lot now. In fact, I would argue just from instinct that the 10-10-10 symmetrical would happen at a much higher frequency than it does now with the faster Spin and Goes, because very often what's going to happen is 3 players start with 15 big blinds. There is a 1 exchange within the first 2 hands that puts one player extremely short, and then 2 other players who are effectively starting stack effective, so 15 big blinds effective, or 10 if the blinds go up. So an uneven distribution at 15-15-15 and then 10-10-10, as in it's not 10-10-10, it's like 10-10-5, or it's 15-15-10, or whatever, like we just discussed. I think that those are going to happen a lot more often, and there is actually a significant difference between the unbalanced stacks. So this is the spot where the button has 15 big blinds, the small blind has 15, and then the player in the big blind has 10. I think this is actually a very close proxy to what happens a lot of the time. So the big blind raises, small blind raises in the first hand. The big blind defends. The other guy c-bets. Now, granted, that's probably going to look at more like 12 or 11, but it depends how they size their bets pre and post. In any case, there's something to be learned here about the uneven distribution. So this is the spot where the short stack is in the big blind. If we look at this, if we were to play this as though it was just the straight 15-15-15. We're doing quite a lot of raising, right? We're raising like a lot of playable hands. We've got some hands that we shove because we are on the shorter side. Great. Now, immediately, when we are not evenly distributed, we do a lot more shoving. A lot more shoving. Okay, you can see these colors turn into an all-in very, very rapidly. What's interesting to think about here is, in the previous setup, when we were 15-15-15, I was suggesting that probably as an exploit, we can be min-raising a lot more of these sort of middling hands. I think that becomes a lot harder to justify when we have 2 players that have very different objectives, right? If you've got the guy in the small blind who's going to play a relatively standard 15 big blind strategy against you, and then you've got a guy in the big blind whose intention is basically to get all of his chips in if he has a hand that he can play, then it becomes a lot harder to know what to do, and it gets a lot more messy, and maybe it's easier just to default to a push. This makes me kind of sad because all of this checks out. All of this story checks out here. It makes sense from a strategy point of view, but this is also why it's going to be a lot harder for us to have a significant edge in the new Spin and Goes now that they're merged between Flash and regular speed. Because literally good strategy dictates that the more unevenly distributed these stacks become, the more often we're going to be all in, and we're leaving it a little bit more up to fate. And in some cases, we're leaving it up to our opponents to make good decisions, which often we'll hope that they don't. So at this point, basically, guys, as soon as we're 15 effective, the deviation here is very significant. So this is 15-15-15. We are all-inning only 7.5% of the time, and now we're immediately doing twice as much all-in. With a range that's relatively condensed anyway, right? We're folding a lot of suited hands in both circumstances. Queen 7 suited, the 7x here is kind of sneaking into our open range at 15 when we start the game. However, here we're immediately shoving a lot more. This is actually more than I anticipated. But in some ways, it makes it easier for our volume, right? Because we know that we can make a very good decision that's probably going to make quite a lot of chips and will be sort of theoretically sound by simply simplifying to a sixes jam. Okay, cool. So now we're looking at the difference between when there's the big stack in the small blind and the big stack in the short in the small blind versus the big stack in the big blind. This is the big blind version. So now we're all hitting about 14.7% of the time. Not a huge difference. It's kind of the same idea generally. You can see that there's actually a little bit more sort of opening not all in a circumstance where the big blind is going to be deeper. Now, why would this be the case? Well, if we're in a circumstance where the small blind is deeper stacked, they might be incentivized to call because they feel like they have more playability. That actually opens the gates more frequently for the big blind to have a better price to be all in with a wider range. So if I open and the small blind folds, the big blind basically has to have the hand and they need to be all in most of the time. If I open and the small blind calls, now the big blind jam can be a lot wider, and that will be mathematically sound because there is like way more big blinds in there, right? We went from having three and a half big blinds with the two big blinds that I open and the call and the small blind to having four big blinds, a small blind and big blind, small blind and button plus the big blind. So there's 5 dead, so they can go bust pretty cheap. So we are going to be able to steal a little bit more. We're going to be able to open not all in a little bit more. Only by a smidge. So you see how the distribution just goes, oh, we're allowed to steal a little bit more. Is that enough for us to want to really change our strategy that drastically? Probably not. Again, if we're against two players that we perceive as not going to be 3-betting enough, then we might consider having more non-all-ins. But at this point, it seems pretty obvious that, like, you know, a lot of the hands that we would default to can just be a steal call. So if we decide that ace queen off is going to be better as a min raise against a player for a specific reason in this kind of a setup, then we probably, you know, are just going to go on to call it. That seems obvious, right? But even a hand like ace 8 off might start sneaking in there. 9-10 suited definitely will still be in there. 8-9 suited is one we might consider min raise folding against the right player. But there you go. It's not rocket science. I feel like this is kind of making sense. But what is important to note is we are not making a big enough of adjustment when we are essentially looks like the start of the game with some changes, and we should basically default to being all in more often. So there you go. That is going to be the button, and this is good. I'm glad we're doing this refresher because actually this makes me feel a lot better about where we're at. This is 10-10-10 now. This is the wrong one. 15-15-15. This is our 15. So basically, ace 10, ace 8 off. Yeah, okay, cool. So really, in reality, against most players, what we're going to probably end up doing is shoving our smallest pairs up to 5, shoving ace 10 to ace 8 off. We probably are better off defaulting to have these as a push unless we're definitely up against people that are going to make mistakes post-flop. And then, you know, we're gonna end up probably just stealing these non-all-in against most players. This is one that we know really well. We're not that worried about it. And then we just want to be aware of the fact that the uneven distribution, which happens very commonly here, is going to indicate that we should be all in with a very wide range of hands, just to simplify. Cool, good to note. Anyway, let's go on to the small blind really quickly, then we'll get into some games, guys. Hi, Jakers, by the way, good to see you. Hello, Ed K. Hello, Tom. Hello, Raksha. Oh, I know Raksha's joining us in a bit. Actually, Smoking Branch. Hello, Big Deal O'Neill. What's up? Hello, Croaks. I know the red line. I know. Don't start. It's making me angry. I think probably there's a lesson here about the red line, if I'm honest. Eagle Hunter, what's up? Good to see you, mate. Hello, hello. How you guys doing? Sorry, I've just been talking at you for a while now, guys. But I hope this is still good content that you're enjoying. Anyway, so let's get into the small blind stuff. So button is folded, and we're now in the small blind for 15, and we're folding, and we're in the small blind for 10. These two setups pre-flop are happening a lot, like a really annoying amount. And these are not spots that we are playing perfectly. They're spots that we're playing fine. But the story kind of checks out again. In the 2x and 3x multipliers, we're going to get to this point very quickly, and you guys know it's like pretty linear. We're just going to shove a bunch of stuff that looks good and is probably Nash, and then we're going to min-raise a bunch of stuff so we're allowed to have aces and kings and queens. At 10 big blinds effective, blind v blind, in a spin and go, regular spin and go, we are actually still going to be stealing 7s to aces. There you go. That's an immediate takeaway. And probably we're actually defaulting to shoving 7s and 8s a little bit too often. We will take a look at our calling range after min raise because, again, that's going to probably surprise some people. But, again, it's not too dissimilar from the previous spot. If we have a hand that's going to have equity, we probably call, and the garbage just comes out, right? So stealing with Jack 3 suited. There you go. That's going to be a raise fold. 9-10 suited, probably going to be a min raise call, right? Let's just double check that. So there's a steal for 2. At 10 big blinds effective, the 2x steal is what's also included in the NWTV chart pack. And the other player goes all in, and there you go. We're calling with pretty stuff, and we're folding with garbage stuff. Stuff that we're definitely not doing this with, ace, king 7 suited, king 6 suited. Again, defaulting to put that into a pushing range is probably fine. There are going to be combos in here that are for balance. I think that probably those will equity make sense, but there are probably ones that we default to a push, which is going to be okay too. What are we probably doing wrong so far? I would say that we're probably push folding too much. We're probably not stealing enough with, our king 10 suited, queen 10 suited, that kind of thing. Those are probably ones we do have, but we probably aren't getting enough steals with, some of our weaker 10-5 suited, jack 5 suited, jack 4 suited. The cool thing about this spot is that players are forced to play pretty honestly most of the time, and I think people have a tendency to overfold. There might be an exploit to use a slightly different sizing. However, that's not good in a circumstance when we're this shallow, because then what ends up happening is some of these hands that we can raise fold, we still have to raise call because there's too much dead money in the middle after we've raised. So at 10, this is all pretty straightforward. I don't think there's really too much that we're doing wrong here outside of the fact that we probably can be stealing not all in a little bit more instead of just defaulting to the push. Don't get me wrong, shoving 10-8 suited here is going to be fine. It's going to be profitable. Shoving anything over here that's orange, not these ones. I mean, some of these actually might still be Nash, but they're going to be balanced as a steal. These ones just defaulting to a push is not going to really change the win rate much here. Like if we look at the value of how do I look at the actual dollar value? Is this the right one? Why am I such a fish? Ranges to breakdown. Oh no, don't do that yet. Okay, cool. Ignore that. All right, I don't know why I'm struggling here, but there is a way that we can actually look at the EV of the two plays. Is it down there? Those are percentages. We're looking at EV. All right, I'm a fish. But if we were to look at the value of these two, maybe somebody can help me with this in a bit. If we were to look at the value of the two moves here, which is shove or raise, I would argue that they're probably almost going to be identical in the actual EV. So yeah, there we are. What's up, Smeeble? Good to see you. We're just doing a little study session before we play. Yeah, I'll tell you guys a funny story about my mic that I broke just now as well. Yeah, I don't know why I'm being a fish here. This is annoying me. Anyway, we will equity charts, equity. Anyway, all right. So what we're going to do is take a look at this one now. So we're looking back at 15. This can be, yeah, this one can be uneven. So fold, and now we're looking at the small blind. So here's one that's a lot more complicated. Here's one that is looking a lot more complicated because obviously at 10 big blinds effective, we're going to be playing a lot of push folds or there is a lot of all-inning. And in this circumstance, we know that for sure we're going to be all in with all of our offsuit aces. Here's one that we're probably getting wrong quite often. We're probably not jamming these combos enough. We're probably not jamming these combos at all. In fact, any of those. In my brain, I would love to be able to go, I'm just going to shove 8-7 off, 9-8 off, 10-8 off, 10-9 off every time. Now, what's annoying about this spot, again, as a result of the merge, somebody please help me. Above the ace-ace on the left, next to the range, select strategy plus EV. I love you. I love you. I love you. Wait, although that's not giving me the EV of the plays. That's the overall EV of the hand. Compare EV. Refresh this one. I just want to see it for that one. Equity. There it is. Thank you very much. Although that's again showing the total EV. That's an EV of 0.85. I want to see the comparative EV between moves. Almost had it. Oh, wait. Okay, there it is. One sec. Okay, so if we look at ace-4 and then we hover. Okay, sorry. What am I doing? I've literally confirmed exactly what I'm saying. So there you go. All in is 0.85 EV, raised to 2.5, 0.85 EV. The difference is if you raise and they call, then you have to actually know how to play it. Now, I am not an advocate for this is what the computer says, so we should always do it. But in circumstances, as I was going on to say just now, in circumstances where we have very little time to have good situations, and if we take a lot of time trying to be clever in one spot, we often deny ourselves to play deeper stacked in like the very next hand. There is probably an argument just to always to default to being all in. Sorry, this is what we were talking about on this one too. So the 15-15-15 includes some jamming with these kind of combos, 10-9, 8-9, 8-7 off. If we were to look at the distribution here of this hand, for example, they are all split that way because they have the same goddamn EV. Which is annoying because I would love to be able to be in a situation where I go, I'm in the small blind and this guy in the big blind is not very good. I'm going to do something clever here and I'm going to try and outplay him. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't going to be exploits because there absolutely will, most of which will be highly player dependent. And at this point, obviously, we're playing with a relatively new pool. We're playing in the 10s. We're playing with a lot of regs that we've recognized from the 25s who perhaps have come down. However, we are also looking at we are also meeting a lot of new faces that we're not really sure of just yet, who perhaps were just purely flash players before. I don't know. So we probably need to be all in a lot more often with these sort of, stronger suited hands. 6-5 suited, 6-7 suited. These are definitely ones we can be all in with a bit more. Just defaulting these to a push as well would simplify things a lot. At the end of the day, when we're blind v blind, we're out of position against somebody absolutely, right? So at button folds, we're out of position against the big blind. We are just going to end up getting outplayed a ton, and if we have very little time to maximize in situations, we might even turn some of our limps into shoves. We might even turn some of our min raises into shoves as well here, simply to try and speed things along. But then again, we will lose some edge theoretically as well, so it's hard. Thank you very much, by the way, Mike. I appreciate that. This is something I've got turned on automatically in GTO base. But there you go. That's better. All right. So really, what we're trying to say in a roundabout way is there's some stuff that we're missing here for sure. That hopefully, now that we've looked over it, we'll do a little bit more. And I encourage you guys. To call me out if you feel like I'm missing spots that we've looked over just now, for sure, because I'm still going to mess it up. As anticipated, we do a lot of this stuff already, which of course is fine. That's kind of what you'd expect. The really, really tricky part here is going to be post-flop small blind. So let's say raise and a call. Doing a probably in-depth. I think probably doing an in-depth breakdown here of. Why are we in these colors again? One sec, guys. We're on hot colors now. Hot colors. Is that right? Okay, cool. So what I probably want to do is I'm going to want to set up a a practice bot, so I'm going to do practice versus GTO opponent, and I'm going to filter specifically for blind v blind 15 and just drill the hell out of that when we're not on stream. Because the post flop here is going to be really, really important. Because in many cases, guys, it's going to be how did you play your button in the first hand? How did you play your small blind in the first hand? How did you play your big blind in the first hand? The button and the big blind I feel relatively confident about. The small blind, the blind v blind is always one of the hardest positions, especially when that first hand is going to set us up for a potential win or loss so rapidly. I mean, of course, every pot should matter, but there we go. This is something that we should probably try and build out at some point, which I actually might already have. This is blind v blind. Let me edit this really quickly and see if I've already set this one up. I might have done already. So this is actually blind v blind, but this one was set up for the deeper stacked version. So I need to basically edit this one to be 15 to 10, really. This needs to be about 15 like this. It doesn't really matter if it's asymmetric, does it? I mean, it might have some impact. No, it shouldn't have any impact anyway, but anyway, we'll come back and we'll do that one later. In any case, let's actually play some poker now. Just to be clear, guys, I'm going to close every window here in GTO Wizard. GTO Wizard is not for use while you're playing if that's not brutally obvious and it is against TOS and can get you banned. So everything is closed. Let's close everything else we got open here as well. All right, let's actually play some spin and goes now. So just to kick things off, let's open up one table. We'll just one table for a little bit. Start to think a little bit more about what we just observed. Oh, okay. Wait 1 second, guys. I don't know what this is, but might be important. This is a Spin and Go live chest. All right, wait a second. $30 cash. Let's go. That must have been from the leaderboard. All right, nice. I did not know we did. We accomplished that, but we accomplished that. Let me actually. I got to write those down for the challenge notes as well, really quick. So I'm looking at this one. I'm looking at this one, and that was a $30 spin live bonus. Today is the 15th of the 7th, 2025. All right, nice. Happy days. We love free money. That's great. So that will go to our challenge notes as well. Not that that's particularly important for the challenge, but it will obviously play a role in any Spin and Go player's life. Bonuses are something that you anticipate when you play a game like this. So let's open up stars. Let's play a $10 spin, and let's get into this session now. All right, let's go. All right, first game, let's go. Yo, Kickseed, what's up? Good to see you. But yeah, pretty much long story short, guys, you know, this all is pretty straightforward stuff. The 3x ISO here is unbelievably strong. But we should do all right here. I actually am just going to give him all the rope. All the rope. I might even trap this down 3 streets, guys. I mean, he's not going to have any hand to call with. So we got to do this instead. The funny thing here is I think the call is actually way better just because he's not actually ever going to have a hand to call an all-in with. We're only ever going to get cold decked. So we're not going to get value from the bluffs, which is, of course, what we've accomplished there. But he will end up having, you know, some flushes and stuff. There is an argument that he'll have some 2 pairs, but probably unlikely. Is he going to have Jack-7? Probably not. 6-7? Probably not. 6-7 is actually one of the more likely ones. It's a $30 reward for the red line. Well, we're about to put a stop to the red line nonsense. We're about to flatten out really quick here. We're about to flatten this red line out real quick with the changes we just made. The asymmetric split that we were looking at just now is actually something we've never really, I want to say never something we've had to look at, probably something we should have done. I guess in reality, just the flow of the game is so much more different now. Like we're getting to that stage so much faster. There is an argument that calling here is going to be better than being all in. I mean, it's such a playable hand in position. I guess that's probably always true. Snap check the flop. Okay. King, queen for life. Something. Nice. Hello, Olga. I mean, we started about 40 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, something like that. I'd say probably actually 30. But we were doing a little bit of light study. Hey, that's the new alert. I forgot I did new alerts, guys. Happy days. What's up, Tony? Long time no see, buddy. How are you doing? And welcome to the NWTV channel. This one's a fold. I know, Tony. I know. Well, it's kind of newish. It's kind of newish. It's new this year, and also haven't had a chance to stream on it as much as I would have liked to kick things off. Also, guys, I just broke my really nice Shure microphone this morning. This bad boy right here. I'm talking into it like it works, but hey, thank you for the follow. I might have to turn that volume down. It's a little bit loud, right? It's a domination situation. Oh, that's not right. That ain't right. Is there 16 in the side pot there as well? Damn. What? How did this pot happen? Did he shove 8-9? He shoved 8-9 off. That can't be the right shove. That cannot be the right shove. Shoving 5 big blinds there? That can't be right. That can't be right. Anyway, unlucky there for us. Such a nice mic. Honestly, I really like these mics. The biggest issue with this one is it was so good, but it's got one of those crappy USB. It's like a micro USB or whatever. And for a relatively new good mic, that's kind of a sham. This is definitely a call, especially against a reg. Wish me luck. Very nice. A little bit of justice. I don't know if anyone wants... I mean, it still looks like brand new. Still looks perfect. Or somebody wants to try and fix this one. Where are we at? We can still sneak in a trap here. And yes, sir. Yeah, you like Hardigan in there? It's pretty cool, right? I've been waiting to use that GIF for a long time. But yeah, I'm bummed out about this. Anyway, I ordered the upgraded one, which is also fun. So it was the stupid connector, Croaks. So I had it on my mic arm, on my really nice Rode mic arm, which works great, like this thing. And I was trying to figure out how to position it so it was closer to my mouth, like this, because this room is echoey, and I need to fix it up, and I wanted to turn down the gain. And as I was maneuvering this, that thing in the back twisted and snapped off. I tried it with a different thing, but that thing's been on the fritz for ages. Do you guys, Tom? Do you remember when we? One second, I mean this. Do you remember when we having that issue where the microphone would start screaming at the audience, like that really high pitched sound everyone hated? That was because of the connector at the back of this was busto. It was like electronic interference. So anyway, I've ordered a new one. It should be here tomorrow, possibly Friday. All right, this guy's 3xing from the button, which I don't think is a thing. I think this is probably safe to assume we should just be all in. Yeah, limp call with king 10 is not a good play. Don't you dare. Limp button, multi-way 15 effective, call shove. And we'll play this one just as the min. We would love for the small blind to be all in here most of the time. That is, I don't know what the ace-8 is doing, but we'll take it. Or the jack-8, excuse me. All right. Very nice. All right, little 4x multiplier here, guys. Sorry, I need to turn on the version that has the snap. There we go. Let's turn that on for now. This is a good flop. All right, just flat. I think we're too shallow to have that many check raises on this board. This guy really wants a piece. All right, if he bets 4.8 on this turn, he's got a hand. It's going to be hearts, it's going to be diamonds, it's going to be overpair, it's going to be a 5, going to be an 8. So we're just all in. Still a massive pot. I think on the double flushing board, that's pretty much our only move. There's plenty of boards where we're just going to call twice and hope for the best on the river. That was wild. I know, Tom, and that was the thing. That's how I reset it every time. Eduardo C says, King Queen suited big blind against small blind against a 2 big blind bet, and the river isn't a shove. It might be Eduardo. That actually, honestly, that is a spot where we probably could have just been all in. Against that player in particular, I actually much prefer the shove, honestly. Yeah, it's definitely preferred to be all in there for sure. King Queen is more than enough, I think. Well spotted. I am definitely willing to go with that one. Okay, so Tom and viewers, the new alert I like. Is it too long? Is it going to be too? Is it too loud? Is it going to be too jarring? This is effectively 10. So let's do 3.333333. Not going to run that one. I might mark that one for review, actually. I'm pretty sure we're still folding ace-deuce with the big blind being deeper. How deep was the big blind in this spot, though? I don't know. Actually, we might have missed a spot there. I'm gonna mark that one for review. Mark for. Oh, okay, well, that one mark hand. We'll do some review at the end of today's stream as well. That one is in the marked hands. We can unmark this one. Okay, calling the lead with the heart. Now, this might end up being the player who leads because it's very dry and it's queen 10-5, but that also means that ace high is probably winning quite often. So I don't think we need to turn our hand into a bluff. I'm hoping that he doesn't just have a random 7 or a random 5. Yeah, the lead with 8-5 here is super weird, but we're unlucky not to improve. Hi, Vanaki. What's up? Good to see you. Gonna trap with jacks here. If our friend likes to lead at those boards, having these traps are particularly good. All right, start with the bets. Okay, we're not folding yet. This pains me so. This does pain me so. I mean, effectively, he's saying that he has a queen. Our price might be too good, though. He can do this with worst two pairs still. Ooh. Nice hand, dude. Well done. If we don't have a set, we can obviously get away from this one a lot more liberally. My biggest issue was we just saw this guy lead bottom pair on monotone, so I think he's going to do a lot of wacky stuff. And honestly, like, I've seen people do this with, like, a random king or, like, 9-10 because they just don't know what they're doing. So story checks out. The diamond, it makes it harder, too, because sometimes people will lead representing the queen when they have the flush draw. But I think set into turn straight, I think, is probably one we're not going to cry about going bust too often. What's up, Dean? Hello. You think it's good? It's a bit loud, but I think that works with the music. All right, cool. Let me go into pause this. Go into alerts. It wasn't as loud when I was doing the testing, but let me edit this alerts. Let's change the. There you go. Thank you for the follow. What's up? Appreciate you. All right, let's do that. Let's try this. Let's try this volume. That's probably a bit better, isn't it? Pocket Jacks is a good hand. Subscription. Is this still too loud? No, that's actually a fine volume. Same for those. This one needs to come down. Follow is at 15. Raid is going to be at the same. Save. Bits are going to be the same. Save. Start with a bet here. Could be a bit long. Okay, I think it's also, if it's not as loud, it's not as, like, doesn't overwhelm the stream as much. Oh, man. Might be able to get a 3 to fold. Nice, good check by us. Thank you for the follows. Appreciate you guys. I'll give you a shout out in a sec. That's a much better volume, though. I can actually hear myself. Hype train needs to come down. This is a fun one. Oh. Perfect. Let's have a little check raise on this board. Interesting click back. We're calling for that size to try and make a straight. Obviously, we just have an insano price. See how he responds on the turn. And we can fold to that size now with the gut shots. So that's much better, that volume, I think. Am I done with Griff now? It's still saved, Dean. I had to think about what you were saying there for a minute. I'm like, I'll never be done with Griff. It's still saved. However, we need to wow, super trap. We are the super trap. King high call. King high hero. Oh, that's interesting, sir. That's an interesting move. The super trap worked, guys. Super trap. All right, I think those are the most common ones. So subs are all the right volume. That's fine. These are the same. Bits are now updated. Raids are updated. Okay, cool. Sorry. Okay, so guys, that was Nihikun. Thank you. Frankie, hello. Premium Carpet, what's up? Cool, hello. Thank you for your follows today, guys. Appreciate it. We will be opening up some more tables in just a moment. We're just getting warmed up here. We're going to do a little bit of a longer stream today. The Grand Tour jersey is a good one, right? And the mustache. Yeah, that's a much better volume. Thank you very much for the follow. Who was that today? That was Hawk Tua on that ding. Hawk Tua on that ting. Very good. All right, we've been studying this spot, guys. We know this one. We know this one. The steal goes in. The continuation bet is actually meant to be on the bigger side. We looked at this one recently. Just work. Work for the sake of this argument. God damn it. Got punished immediately for that, guys. Immediately punished for that one. Oh, nice. Little retribution. Eduardo says, a fish donking close to pot and shoving river in a 4-card straight is underbluff. I completely agree. I completely agree. If we hadn't have seen that specific hand just before it, Eduardo, I probably would have just got away from it. We've literally, I mean, he was literally donk leading. Sorry, guys. He was literally donk leading the 3-heart board with bottom pair and then like snap giving up. There's 2 pieces of information. That's unusual. That's uncommon. That's not standard, which means he can have non-standard all-ins against us in the other spot. But also the fact that he donked and then gave up means he might not be the kind of guy to commit to the bluff on the river as often. But I agree with what you're saying for sure. This is what we're going to do. A refresh is always good. Yeah, I mean, you know, feel free to keep triggering those alerts. Those are fun alerts, I think. Right. Let me grab a drink in a sec, guys. I've been talking for like an hour straight now. And then we'll get into this challenge. I'm feeling re-energized. I'm feeling like we can accomplish something today. We are actually up $20 on the challenge now. We're 1% ROI, right where we're meant to be. Great stuff. We do need to get out of the doldrums here, though, guys. We've only played a few games, I know, so really these results don't mean anything. But cut off to such a flyer, and we've just been dumping now. Eduardo says, in a previous spot, he donked pot with 3rd pair and gave up. I believe they are face up with their sizes. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. That's what I mean to say. There's 2 bits of information there, and I think maybe the latter is the more relevant, right? The fact that they gave up. But also the fact we have a set makes it harder because he can still be doing that with other hands he perceives their value. If we have like top pair or like middle pair or something, obviously that just becomes a lot easier to get away from, I think. The other spot that we probably need to like have in the back of our mind is the 10 big blind defend range versus shove. This one is fine to simplify. This is actually one of these, wasn't it? This is one of we literally just looked at one of those. Literally just looked at the suited jacks there. All right, guys, let me grab a drink. We'll stay on the one table for a bit, and then we'll multi-table once we're a bit more warmed up. Tyler's asking, what's my biggest prize in one of these? There is a command for it, Tyler. I'm not sure if it works here. Maybe it does? Oh, maybe not. One sec, Tyler. I have a link for you, buddy. 1 second. Sixes versus kings. That ain't right. Set or reset on the flop, too. All right, give me a sec, guys. Next game, let's go. So 247 games. So far, some of the nines are still in here. Yeah. The tissues when you win a flip is corny. I agree, Tom. I agree. Just keep calling, I guess. How do we lose? How do we lose? I don't think they end up having enough sort of like weak stuff to just call a smaller bet with there. I think we just commit and hope that they have a hero call or a queen. You have to set up separate Nightbot channels for YouTube and Twitch. So Ed, I think it is set up, or it was meant to be set up. I thought we did that already. Well, we definitely did because I was editing. Oh man, this is such a good price just to get lucky. Not quite. Go on, fold. I was gonna say check anyway. The I have two Nightbot. I have two accounts. I thought that Tom and Raksha moved those over because I was editing one the other day for. I did one the other day for the for Showdown. Look. Or is it a different? That's weird. I was literally editing the channel the other day. I have two logins. I have Nightbot for Twitch and YouTube. I'm not sure why it's not working. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Just took a second. Oh, it just took a second. It actually worked on. It worked for both. I pasted it and I copied my. When I pasted it, I confused myself. So the reason I broke my mic today, guys, is because I really want to get this headset off when I'm doing longer streams. Okay, let's do a little lead here. I really want to get my this headset off when I'm streaming for longer sessions. I feel like my skull is getting crushed. Save some money there. He shouldn't have a king as often, which is why I still want to call, but that's definitely a good slowdown on the turn. He will have exactly those kinds of combos. Nice domination situation here. It's lucky. Can I get away with using the mic like this, guys? Can you guys hear me okay like this, or does it sound like trash? Like Michael Jackson or something? Those mics that used to like come off their face like that. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay here. Yeah, YouTube's just a little bit slow, Tom. That's what it was. No good. Let me know if that sounds okay, guys. It should be alright. It's pretty close to my mouth still. CEO of YouTube is asking, hey Nick, trying to adjust to the new Rush format. Any tips on what to study? We literally did a study session at the start of today's stream. If you want to go back, CEO. But in essence, today we just did a little sesh on the 15 big blind ranges from the button and the small blind versus big blind, three-handed, and then also, man, this is a trickier one. We can definitely still call there with Jack High some of the time. So we looked at 15 big blinds symmetrical. That's three-handed on the button and from the small blind, blind v blind, when all stacks are 15 big blinds each, which is a starting stack basically in most games, in the 2x and the 3x. And then we did 10 big blinds, button, small blind, multi-way. Obviously, we'll do another sesh on heads up in a bit. But we looked at what we considered the most common setups basically. It's a bit lower volume. It's annoying. It's gonna tell me if it sounds bad. Let's try that instead. We'll just have to suck it up for today. Tales is definitely a reg of some variety. Needs to get changed here. But yeah, effectively. If you just get back to the start of today's stream, I explained a little bit about like the spots that I think are going to come up very often that we can look at. We didn't touch on heads up today, but you're just going to end up encountering a lot of 15, 15, 15 and 10, 10, 10. And then, there's probably going to be quite a lot of 15 and 10 big blinds starting as well, heads up, right? Because if we're playing the first few hands and two players go all in, one player gets stacked, we're going to end up having either 15 big blinds or 10 big blinds, depending on what level we are on at the time of the departure. Thank you, Ty. Appreciate it. I just feel like I just feel like there's a lot of pressure over my head, and doesn't make me feel comfortable. Also, when you're hearing yourself through the headset rather than just hearing your voice like in ambient sound, makes you feel like you're shouting as well. This is all right when you're broadcasting, but when you're trying to just play for like 4 hours, 5 hours, it's like, Hello, Colin. How's it going? How you doing? Will you watch or comment on the main event feature table today? So I won't be commenting today. I've done some World Series of Poker commentary earlier in the series. If some of you guys didn't spot that, that was really fun. I will be watching this evening, though, because Kenny is still Final 9. No problem, CEO. Yeah, we're gonna probably end up doing a little bit more of that. It's not usually part of the grind, like where we actually sit and do like a proper sesh, but we've just kicked off the challenge, and already was like, okay, cool. Here's a spot that wouldn't come up as often in the previous version. So we thought we'd just do a little sesh on it, a little refresher. I'm probably still making a ton of mistakes, but that's fine. Because like ultimately, yes, they're faster, but we're still playing the same game. We're still playing the same game, and I don't see any reason why, previously being a, winning Spin and Go player, we can't still be in the same bracket here. This is nice. Oh, it's not so nice. King. No good. We put the chips in good. That's all we can do. The Queen 8 shove is definitely going to be fine, though. I think from Tallis, that's totally good. Notice a higher frequency of rest with this new format. Maybe due to easier multi-table these fast. Higher frequency of regs. So what I have noticed is a lot of the $25 regs have come down to play 10s, which story kind of checks out. Like, it really depends on their circumstances, but we're playing a much higher variance format now, which means you have to play more volume. And if you have to play a higher volume and it's higher variance, you also want more of a bankroll to stomach the swings. So there's definitely $25 regs that are playing 10s now when we're on stream. I mean, we've just had like 3 games in a row where that's 2 regs. So not ideal circumstances by any stretch. Tommy says, I'd be happy to see Kenny grind or Margets to take it down. Those 3 are my picks for sure, Tom. I would love to see Team Pro take it down. Shout out to Kenny. This is just going to be one of these. Oh, that's all right. I'll take a 40%er. 40% is like $1 million. GG. 40% is like $1 million%, basically. Yeah, see, like it remains to be seen. I think that I have seen a higher frequency of games where like I'm just playing against like what is going on here, but also a ton of regs as well for sure. I mean, it doesn't help that we're playing on a Tuesday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Can we get a little bluffy here? Can we get a little bluffy with the 10 deuce? Can we be really, really cheeky with the old 10 deuce? Let's take a card off. Straight me. Oh, deuce might be enough. Nice, I'll take it. We take it. And if there is a limp there, we're going to do one of these. And I'm going to check it over to our friend here and hope that he blasts off. That's will do. Thank you, sir. 3x fold would be nice, though. I would take that. Oh, yeah. This king 10 play is going to get him into a ton of trouble. Started the hand like 10 effective. Like 11. This one's really close. I'm not going to call against this player. Dean, it's not the Spin and Go Championships. That's just the new format. They merged Spin and Go Flash and regular spins. So depending on the multiplier, the games are faster or slower. So all Spin and Goes on .com now are what they're calling like the merged pool. So 2x, 3x are basically flash, and then the higher you go, the more game you get. King deuce is the nuts. That's a nice run out for the 3-5. Nice trap with the jacks here too. Queen deuce is definitely going to be a push versus limp at the stack depth though, so it's all good. Just a push. Yeah, it's nothing to do with Spin and Go championships. That's just the graphic because players can now qualify for the championships live. You can qualify to join us in Barcelona, guys. Domination situation. Let's go. Nice hold. Con says, Nick, what do you think about the quicker new format of spins and PokerStars? I play a lot of spins, but now it seems like almost everything comes down to pushes and flips. I really much prefer regular speed. I think that Spin and Go Flash has a certain appeal. Like it just feels like at a different pace, and like it sort of is. I understand, and sometimes I am in the mood to play flashes. Like I would previously play a little mix of both. I enjoyed that. I would prefer to have the choice to play regular speed or normal based on the amount of time that I had and what I was feeling like. I've given that same feedback to PokerStars for what it's worth. I think that for me personally, I would like to see longer games. Most of the games we play be longer games. So making the 2x multiplier faster for me doesn't really bother me at all. I think that's fine, and a lot of people tell me about how much they hate when it's a 2x multiplier, so that's fair. I think that we make too many of the games now too fast, in my opinion. I think that anything 3x and higher should be at least somewhat resemble a regular speed spin and go personally, but that's me. I'm hoping that the challenge will give us a little bit more insight into what's possible, though, right? Like I don't claim to be the best spin and go player in the world. I don't claim to be the best spin and go flash player in the world either. That's an important note. But I do think that I kind of know what I'm doing for the most part. I do think I'm an okay spin and go player. So hopefully after 5,000 games, we can draw some conclusions. What I am starting to think, though, is based on the limited number of games I've played so far, I'm not sure if 5K games is really going to be enough to get any hard evidence, as it were, towards what's possible. Are the Spin and Go Championships just a 3-man shootout? No, Jakers. No. So the Spin and Go Championships happened for the first time in Prague last year in 2024. I played in them. I was there. I wasn't involved with the development last year, but I am this year. The Spin and Go Championships are actual Spin and Goes played live. They've been adjusted in order to a random call over here. Yeah, rolling. Wish me luck, guys. They've been adjusted so that they play similarly to real Spin and Goes, with the fact that you have to shuffle the deck and you have to shuffle the deck and you have to actually deal the cards, and the players are going to play slower on average live than they would online. Blah blah blah. But basically, what it is a series of Spin and Goes. And you have to win a certain number of Spin and Goes against 2 opponents in order to go on to the next rounds. So last year, the way it worked was in round 1, you had to win 3 games or 4 games in round 1 and then 5 games in each subsequent round to proceed. And then there was a payout associated with that. There was some randomization, but not as much as you would have liked to have seen. Our opponent checks on the turn. Can we get any value on this river? You can still call with 10s and jacks, I guess. Maybe some 6x. Nice. So basically, you get paired with 2 other people, and you play until somebody has X number of wins. Then you go on to the next round until in that sense, it's kind of a shootout, but it's not a shootout. because you actually play regular spins as you proceed. The limp call with Queen 8 suited is fine here. Tyler says, yeah, I'm not a fan of the fast structures either. In my opinion, guys, I think that regular speed spinning goes, the previous regular structure is like maybe one of the most well-designed balanced structures I've ever seen. Like, some people don't like to play faster structures, that's fine, but if you are going to play a fast structure, the previous structure gave a lot of scope for, you know, like there was still game. There was still a lot of back and forth. There was still comebacks. There were still moments of where you could have, there were still a lot of moments where you could have you could play good poker and have an edge even as we became shallower, if that makes sense. In this format, I'm not saying there is no edge, but if after one level, which is, you know, 1 minute or 2 minutes or whatever it is, depending on the stake, we all have 10 big blinds, then we are getting pretty close to a very push fold sort of push fold heavy structure. The tables are really cute as well, Ed. Yeah, we actually played on little miniature spin and go tables, 3-handed tables. Khan says he prefers the regular structure as well. Story checks out, guys. I feel you. I totally feel you. 44%. I've seen the pictures. Where's the spin aspect? So, Jakers, I've addressed that this year. Last year, I was very disappointed that I was not consulted. This is actually like, yeah, okay, cool. Let's do this. Last year, I was very sad that I was not consulted more about the way we should have handled those games. This year, I've been consulted heavily. I've had a really big impact on how it's going to be handled, and there will be a lot more spin in this one. There will be a lot more spin. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to go into detail, but let's just say there's a lot of money being invested in this. The prize pools are going to be very significant. The ability to win prizes is going to be very significant, and the way that you win the prizes is going to be super, super fun. I was just wondering if it was kind of like a mystery bounty type thing. I think it's fair to say the previous one was a little bit like that, but ultimately I just don't think there was enough spin in the first one. But they were working on a really sort of tight schedule to effectively get something going that year. And also, like, I mean, I feel like they could have made their lives a lot easier if they just had a conversation with me, but ultimately, you know, they didn't. And so now this year, now they've got it off the ground, we can actually talk about how to make it better. Value bet the 10. And this one is going to be here. Just about, I think it's fine. Being min check raised on this board, get lost. Don't believe you for a second. Do not believe you for 1 second, mate. Okay, I believe you now. Fair enough. Is that a double gut shot? I love a double gut shot. Good call with a 4. If we bet the turn, we're going to get the same outcome anyway, although technically we might be able to still shove the river. CEO of YouTube says, unfortunately, I think a lot of losing players love the faster format. You know, I don't know. It's all speculation, right? There's an argument that people that are looking for a quick spin are like, oh, spinning goes aren't fast enough. Like, I want it to be more fast-paced. I want it to be more crazy. I think there is a certain player like that, but I also think that most of the people I know that enjoy playing spinning goes are either literally professionals or it's just because it's long enough that it fits in their limited time frame, but there's still enough play that they get to enjoy it. I think that's what I'm saying when I say I think the previous reg speed was reg speed in that format was a perfectly balanced game, in my opinion. 10-8 actually might be a call here, guys. I'm not sure if we're supposed to call versus the raise call small blind, but I guess something that contradicts that is I know people that have contacted me and said, "Hey Nick, I really enjoy your content. I'm not a winning player. I'm not a spin and go, grinder. I'm not I'm not this. I'm not that." They've come to me to say that they prefer the slower version. Like I've had at least 3 people who are like 100% okay admitting that they're not the best spin and go player. They're not a winning player, and they just preferred the previous version because it's actually like more entertaining for them. And that kind of makes me sad. Can we catch a bluff? Can we catch a bluff? Okay, avoid catastrophe. That's also fun. That also works. Anyway, we'll see what happens, guys. I think that, like I said, I think this challenge is a good opportunity to get some volume in and to see how this works, this version. And then in the future, if you guys have feedback, hit me up, let me know. I can pass that on, and then we can see, is there a better way to do it? We have to call the small raise, obviously, guys. Like, it's just too good of a price. We have a pretty significant draw. Please get there. Why don't we ever get there? Why don't we ever get there? I feel like a lot of players end up like small check raising, like strong hands on the turn here, and then we always have just like the most gorgeous price to get there with a very reasonable draw. But we're not getting there enough. Is the problemo. Two live cards. Let's go. Get there. All right. All right. Let's play a few more solo table. Then we'll fire up a 2-table situation here. Try and get some more volume in. Tom says, I would 100% recommend anyone with an opinion on the change to please put that feedback on PokerStars Discord or Nick's Discord to pass along. I strongly agree. That would be fantastic. Ed says, I think the 1 minute levels are far too fast at the lower end. 1 minute 30 should be better. It has to be different from the it's just all a bit too fast for me personally. At some point I remember people saying, the community sort of saying, oh, 2x multipliers suck. Like, that's why I don't play spinning goes. I feel like I get them too much. And the suggestion to speed that up doesn't upset me at all. Like, that's totally fine. But I think that 3x and 4x as fast as they are. It doesn't feel quite right either. Queen high for the win. Oh, okay. Saved ourselves a couple big blinds there. Let's just start betting now. Ed says, I've also suggested that having a number of hands per level rather than time could guarantee a certain number. I completely agree with that as well, Ed. That was part of my suggested solution for the live spinning goes as well, which we might adopt. Yeah, I've got a fair amount of suggestions in that same vein, but yeah, it's definitely fair to say that I prefer reg speed. I mean, in fact, I do honestly think that reg speed is a near perfect format. Like, I feel like it accomplishes exactly what it sets out to accomplish. I do feel like it's actually just a really, really well designed way to play. All right, 30 bucks in the bag. Let's get one more full screen here, and then we'll get the two tables going. Okay, next game. Yokura says, I'm not a spinning go player, but watching is fun. There you go. Glad you're enjoying the content. All right, we'll start firing up some more tables in a minute. And I'm starting to feel like this is a bit too slow. In fact, let's just do it. Let's just go for it here, guys. Gotta change how I'm doing this. Turn this one off. Turn this one on. All right, king 5 suiting. That's annoying. All right, let's get this on. And just like that, Sharpman's great name joins the fray. Hello, buddy. Welcome. And you brought the kings with you. Thanks for that. All right, wish me luck. This is a call. Pretty straightforward. The limp here at 8 big blinds effective is a little bit scary. We're not folding the flop, though. Not folding the turn either. Is this a way that people bluff? Not really. Unknown player, bets one, shoves river. That might be a catastrophic mistake, but we'll see. Yeah, I agree, Jakers. I agree with Ed. It's like it does feel a little bit annoying that if you play a particularly interesting hand early on in the game that takes a little bit too long, you've just like blitzed an entire level. That doesn't feel quite right. All right, here we go. That is a good flop. Now, again, he limped at this really shallow stack depth. Doesn't bet. I think that means we're allowed to give him some rope here. Would love for him to have a king here. That'd be so sweet. If he's not betting, how are we supposed to win? We are never going to get a dime, were we? All right, we win the game on the left here, which I accept. I am willing to accept. Yeah, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, guys. We're going to put in a proper sesh today. We're going to play for a decent amount of time here. We're going to try and get some volume in for the challenge, which we're making like, I mean, we've only done like really 2 proper sessions. They've been pretty lax as well. Stupid camera. Oh, is it because I reset? Yeah, stupid. Just really trying to get this one right. There we go. Do a little of this. Call. We need to put in some volume. We need to get through this challenge. I'm going to start bluffing on the left here. This guy is limping a lot of small blinds. Oh, man. The number of times we get check raised on those boards is hilarious. Literally, we're in a pot and we're in a pot. I feel like every time they check to us on those like low connected boards, we're just running headlong into it. I guess we have to go for all of it over here. It's like, can still call us with an ace or a 10, I guess, for the whole stack. If he's got a trap at this short stack depth. No, okay, cool. This guy is just limping way too much. Shallow. That's really important to know because we can exploit the hell out of that really easily. But yeah, we'll do a proper sesh here. I'm gonna set up that trainer in GTO Wizard, and I'm gonna really drill the fuck out of blind v blind spots. Because I feel like that's probably the weakest part of our game right now. It's really hard for the heads up to be wrong at any stack depth. Really, we've played so much heads up. Just trying to figure out where the leaks are showing the most, given the change in format. I would be surprised if it wasn't there. Excuse me. Goodness me. King Jack of Hearts is the nuts. Oh, can't lose. It's impossible. It's impossible to lose. All right. Now, I do anticipate Jubba's going to barrel us off this pot a lot. Tyler says low boards attract check raise. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's not an accident, but I do feel like we run into it like way more than we should. I do feel like we run into it way more than we should. Checks, turn, bombs river. Oh, man. We're blocking Jack 10. Does he do this with a queen? Could do this with a queen. Tough spot there. Really tough spot. Funnily enough, I think he has more bluffs if he bets the turn. Low boards do attract check raises. Queen Jack suited seems to attract fucking queens. You cheeky monkey. Nice hand, dude. Nice hand. Can't be mad about it. Can't even be mad about it, really, for being fair. All right, 4x multiplier over there. Gonna get a 2xer over here. Nope, 3xer. Jaker says, have you ever tried to compare your results with population to figure out your leaks? Like if your EV is lower than population three-handed? Yes, absolutely, Jakers. Actually, I plan on doing a video about this on social media. I've got, there's a guy I really, really respect in the community. There's a guy that I really respect in the community who plays Spin Goes, who is going to help me to do a little bit of database analysis, which is something I've done a little bit in the past, but my friend Tom is particularly good at that, so we're going to try and get him involved. The issue that we have now, though, is comparing my results to population is going to be very difficult when population has just started a completely new kind of game, right? You know, previously, if there was a very successful Spin and Go coach, he would go, I see stuff like this all the time. You're not raising enough from this position. You're not 3-betting enough from this position. I've been doing this for 10 years. Now all of the expectations and all of the frequencies and stuff are all broken because of how because of the merge. So before, I had this conversation with Tom before. He was very keen to help, and I was very keen to work with him, which was going to be great. However, that was right before we found out about the merge, and now obviously it's going to be a lot harder to do. Probably won't take that long because people play a lot of Spin and Goes very quickly, so the frequencies probably emerge quite quickly as well. So we'll see. It's nice to run into ace 5, but it's not nice when they get lucky. I will do a proper whole video on that though, Jakers, excuse me, with Tom. Pash says, are the flash spins gone for the championship timer or gone for good? Well, I don't think anything's gone for good necessarily. At the moment, this is what all spinning goes look like. So Spin and Go Flash didn't go away. They just became the more prominent of the games. Thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. This is a weird spot. I'm all right. I think this is fine. Sergeant Jojo, I appreciate your follow. Thank you. Yeah, Tomo's ridiculously good. Also, Tomo will have coached people playing strictly spins as well, so that's a whole other thing. Can a straight be any good? Straight is good. Cool. What's up, S Burn? S Burn. Can we get a whole comeback here? McLaurin says, so I looked into the phone ad thing from yesterday. Apparently YouTube recently decided to embed ads into the content. That's so shit. That's so bad, McLaurin. I can't believe that, dude. Oh man, I mean it's hard enough to make any ad revenue, let alone canceling your own ad revenue, right? It's not ideal. It's not ideal. We have action with queens. We put in a third of our stack and it's come ace four deuce. I mean, we can't really fold our hand now, right? We have to let him blast off. If he's the kind of player that's going to go, he's going to go. This is such an annoying spot because, like, there's not really that much calling you do with an ace when there's been a 3-bet for this much of your stack. So it's going to end up being a lot of bluffs. It will be clubbed some of the times as well. Yeah, this is definitely not a way you want to play your hand, but it is fair enough. It is fair enough that he has the best hand here when you're going to play it that way sometimes. So I say to you, sir, nice hand. And we move on. How did I bust this one? Shove queen 9. Shove queen 9 for 5. Oh man, queen 9's the nuts here. Fair enough. Oh, the table stacking is so annoying here. Which is fine in general, but the ads during out the actual video content. No, I think that's awful. I agree with you, man. That's not good at all. That is not fun. Doesn't happen on web browser YouTube, though. Okay. Oh, well, that's something, I guess. Yep, that's fine. Any good for ace queen suited? All right, how many aces in this deck? Oh, there's an 8 on the turn. That's how that works. Okay, great. Really great there. Really great. Our EV is absolutely tumbling. Our EV is taking a real tumble here, gang. We are going to have to keep an eye on it, though, because I do think a lot of this is just in-game variance. It's so weird because your content doesn't pause while the ads play. The ad just plays over the content. That is a very strange decision. Yeah, I agree with you, mate. Not cool. Welcome back, though. Thank you for joining us again. We're going to be spending a lot more time together if we're going to get to 5K games this year. Especially two-tabling. I will be playing a little bit off-stream. Thank you for the follow, Rincio. How you doing? Welcome. Right. Fold. And this one is a fold for show. And this one's a check for show. Why aren't you bluffing the flop here? Calling this one for show. Don't think we can bluff here. Can't even get it in with 5 tray. 6 or a 5 on the river, guys. Yo, Steve, what's up? Thank you for the follow. Where have you been? Where have you been, mon frere? Where have you been, mon frere? Let's put this one into the steal category. The guy's trapping with ace-queen like he thinks he's being clever when I got one big blind. You're only putting yourself in bad situations. Byrne is asking, Nick, what's your favorite stack depth to play? I like the regular speed spinning goes. We discussed it earlier today, Bryn. Byrne. 25 big blinds. There you go. 25 big blinds starting. It's been a while since YouTube tilted me. Oh, mate. Count yourself lucky. YouTube tilts me frequently. Might be one of the worst rivers. Man, people are limping so much. People are limping so much. Manola's asking, do you like this combined format with Flash or prefer the other one? I much prefer when they're separated, buddy. I was a reg speed player. I prefer reg speeds. I'm excited to see what's possible, though. Like it is an interesting challenge. Doing the 50K challenge is a good way to just like feel it out, right? And there is also something very, very fun about blasting through tons of volume. Like, thank you for the follow. Wazzy, what's up? Appreciate you. There is something really fun about blasting through Flash. I would play a bit of both before. It's not that I didn't enjoy Spin Go Flash. It was just that I really enjoyed reg speeds, basically. Ace-9 is a good hand. We're going to lose the Ace-7 suited. We actually managed to find a hold on the paired board and on the right. That's pretty cool. So let's be precise here. Nika limps. We jam. I'll also say it was running the 30-second ad about every 5 to 10 minutes. What the hell? That is just not fun at all. Two-hour levels, 300 big blinds deep. There you go. That's a game. No, I can't think of anything worse. That's way too slow. Yeah, Burn, same thing. So many button limpers in this at this stake. All right. I guess we just. It's kind of annoying how little like ammunition we have, right? It's not just that we're like getting cold decked. It's like we're struggling to be in situations to like have the hand outplay people as well. 6 tray is interesting. Hey, Wazzy, how's it going? Good to see you. Cool. Managed to lose the minimum there. That's nice. Thank you for the follow. That was Notameg. Thank you for the follow. Hope you are good. This is definitely a call. Wish me luck, guys. All right. Let me ask Nick a question. Would you rather play against Marley or Spraggy? Great question. Great question. Well, oh, sorry guys. Let me preface this by saying I enjoy playing with both players. I would like to consider both of them my friends. I hope that they feel the same way. That would be nice. I'd like to imagine that Marley and Spraggy consider themselves my friend. Who would I rather play against? I think I'd rather play against Spraggy because I think Marley would probably absolutely destroy me at poker. Yes. That's a really bad turn to get away with this. It's a really bad turn to get away with this. Because he's going to bluff that turn like 1,000% regardless. I don't think that's the right size, though. I could be wrong. I don't think we have a size that big at this stack depth. No, I think I enjoy playing with Team Pro no matter the circumstance. I enjoy playing with Team Pro regardless of the circumstance. In fact, I am often the instigator in, let's say we're all at a company event or something and a couple ambassadors have come along. I'm always the one saying we should like get a cash table going. We should play poker together. Often people are hesitant, but they've always ended up having a really good time. That's always been true. It's always been true. Yeah, we're going to shove this one. Man, guys, we're definitely on a bit of a weird like meta downswing where we're having there's like a lot of very standard spots and we seem to always be on the wrong side of them, like for like in big ways and in small ways. 8 big blind shove, we have king jack call, they always have ace 9 or something like that. We're shoving ace 5, we're running into queens, like it's just constant so far. I think I would rather play very Spraggy, but only because I like them both a lot. I like Spraggy and Marley a lot. But faux money. I'll take Spraggy to avoid the Marl's punishment. Oh, Minare's fold sucks. Harsh but fair. All right, nice. Glad you agree. All right, we need to do some work, man. I I can't help but feeling like we're making mistakes here, Priest, though. Probably not big ones, but still. Why are you limping the button, sir? Why are you limping the button, sir? Stop limping the button. There we go. I am going to trap check here. We're going to put the rest in. Definitely need a note here. Trap check successful. The shove with Queen 10 suited is fine, but we got to make a note on this one for future because the trap with the jacks is important to note. So limp the button at, okay, actually limped it like 18 effective. Let's call it 16. Limp button multi-way 16 effective was jacks. Good to know. Very good to know, in fact. Big ISO here. Why are you calling, mates? Why are you calling a big ISO here, buddy? Nah, we're not going to put any more chips in this pot. We can bluff the turn if he checks. Wait till you find out that Temo loves the button lip. I already knew that, Crooks. Don't you worry. I was already aware. Oh. And the river? I did know that. I did know that, mate. Fair enough. Play again. Wish me luck. Nice hand, bro. Sweetness of ace king, really nice. Hello, Asifo. How you doing, bud? How is it treating you, mate? How is the life? How is the life? Yo, DK Poker, thank you very much for the follow. How are you doing today? Welcome. Tada says, hi, Nick. Is it better than yesterday? I hope it is. Ooh, not really, mate. Got to be honest. Not really. We're getting trashed today, too. We are not only losing in dollars, but also, like, we're not actually winning any EV here either. We are kind of running into it, but like I said yesterday, it's going to take a lot of games before we really have any real info. It would just like completely blow my mind to learn that for some random reason we weren't still winning at least some EV in these games after the change. Because that doesn't really make sense. Still the same game. It's just way too fast. I'm off the forklift. How's the tables going? Going all right, mate. We just need to get through this, whatever's going on right now. I think we're stuck in a bit of a rut here. We are stuck in a bit of a rut here, and we just keep running into it. This is a perfect example on the right-hand side here. So 9-4 suited, like, it's not a great hand, right? Like, we're not upset because we're losing with a hand that's not great. But part of the value of shoving these kind of combos is that we actually end up having reasonable equity when we get called. Like, there's a limited number of actual combinations that end up really hurting us in these situations, and that's exactly what he has in this spot. So we push, great call. Perfectly good GTO call, but we're dominated, and it's like a spot where we end up actually not really losing too much EV. So for 2 days, we've just been like pushing into like hands that completely destroy us, which means our actual EV is not going to be representative of the whole sample. Can I get a hold? Asifa says, good. I hope to welcome you guys to the Open in Manchester. I will be there, buddy. What's up, Steen? Good to see you, mate. So, like, there is a specific kind of run bad. And, again, I'm not complaining, guys. I'm just commenting on the action. There's a specific kind of run bad in spins where you, like, are making completely sound decisions and you're doing very standard things, but all the standard things are running into the worst-case scenario, and then your actual EV dips. Your EV dips in a way which indicates, like, not very good play. And I think for the last 2 days, really, like, all the short stacked all-ins, like we're running into monsters, running into dominating hands. We're running into dominating hands when we have like 9-5 of diamonds. We're shoving 9-4 of diamonds running into Jack-9. We're shoving Ace-5 running into Ace-Queen. Yada, yada, yada. Boring. So we just need to get through it. We need to play through because there will be a lot of situations when the opposite is true. So a lot of those situations end up being like nulled out. It's kind of like the whole aces versus kings thing. Like, it's really frustrating, but it's going to happen to you as much as it happens to your opponents. So over time, that's going to get nulled out where we look like a genius for a week as well. The cold call here is terrifying. Oh my God. The price is so good though. Look at the flop. Look at the flop. Honestly, I think there's a chance we're still supposed to be peeling here, but it's not. It doesn't feel good, does it? We shove Queen-7, we run into Ace-Queen. Here you go, look. This is the spot again. This is going to destroy our EV for the day. Spots like this. Shoving Queen-7, running into Ace-Queen. Yo, what's up? Swiss Power, welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. Jack-7 is a call. Wish me luck, guys. What happened in that previous pot? Did he just bet the flop and the guy folded? Jesus Christ. Oh, the 10-8 of hearts. Straight in there. All right, see? All right, reversal. Cheeky reversal. All right, we take this. It's all good, gang. It's all part of the method. It's all part of the process, don't you worry. But it's a boring part of the process. It's a very, very boring part of the process, I'm afraid. All right, little domination situation on the right. Let's go. How could you ever do that to me? God damn it. The tray is getting it in, dominating, and we can't hold. My God. We lost a flip on the left as well here. Brutality. Trap with the kings. $1966 Lanky Joker, what's up? Thank you for the follow. It's very kind of you. It's very, very kind of you. We get a little rematch here, though, against... oops, sorry, guys. Get a rematch against Sib, though. All right. Less complaining, more poker, starting from now. This is a little bit rich for the stack depth. Do I have that? Do I have that throwable? It'd be weird if I didn't have that. If I, where's my spin and go throwable? Where is my spin and go throwable? Got that one. Did I not get a Spin and Go Championship throwable? That's weird. I'm not sure why. All right, so we've agreed we're just going to play through the bullshit. Oh my God, look at the equity. Look at the equity. How did this money go in? What the fuck happened here? We shove. Ace 5, pocket threes. I'm not sure if threes is an overcall there. I would need to look that one up, but oh, it's such a good price. Get there, Nick, for God's sake. Price is too good on the turn to folds. Really annoying spot. We need like 15% equity, which we don't quite have, but we do if we include the value on the river. Ace 5, definitely a call here. Running into eights is just laughable. Laughable spot. Guy shoves 8 big blinds. Ace 5 suited is the nuts. Why am I even questioning myself here? Why am I even questioning myself with pocket kings? Sorry, guys, you don't even see the kings. Kings! Against ace jack. Oh, he flopped a straight. Okay, cool. We ran deuces into jacks and ace 7 suited too. That was fun. Yeah, I mean, 15 is definitely a push with all pairs. We've already looked at that this morning. Shit. Yeah, I mean, this is all part of the situation, isn't it, guys? This one. This is part of the issue at the moment. Is a lot of these games are just going to be bog standard all-ins, right? Like that, for example, running into it. Top pair, baby. Standard electric 2-prong forklift and one that is a propane clamp lift. I used to move heating coils and air conditioning units with bits on pallets. That is actually very interesting. I think I'd be a good forklift operator. I think I would actually be a good forklift operator. We got value on the river. Let's go. Just had king high. That's nice. That's actually kind of a cute way to do it. And let's just simplify that one. Running into a dominating hand. Story of my life. Story of my entire life. And I think we're fine just to fold there. God, that's so annoying. Just stack the tables properly. This is taking forever. All right, thank you. All right. Some of the pros that I chat with have a running joke that there's a handicap system in place at lower stakes. Story checks out. Yo, what's up? B Cantor, how you doing? Long time no see. Always good, mate. There is a handicap system in place for sure. Yeah, this one's still in there. So 3 big blinds, ace queen into ace 7 suited. Right. Oh my God, it's just absolutely devastating, guys. It's sincerely alarming how often it's happened to us in the last 2 days. What's up, B Cantor? Good to see you, dude. The Cantinator. Man, I would love to just hit a 6 here. It'd be so sweet. It's a strong lead. It's a strong lead. That one's pretty close. This one is a go. Why is this guy checking down? I don't know what's going on here. We shove Queen Jack straight into Queens. We've done that twice in like 20 minutes. That exact combo. All right, next game, please. We got to play 50,000 bucks of this, people. 50,000 buckers. Hurry it up. Ace, deuce, and the nines. All right. All right. Yeah. We're getting used to it now. We're getting used to it. So we've never had a. Oh shit! That was a misclick. We've never had a winning red line. That's not been our style. Winning red line is not our thing, people. It's just not. And what is this over here? What the fuck? We've not had a winning red line, and that's fine because you compensate, right? You just win in other areas. You got a certain style. We've been neglected of a lot of post flop edge because a lot of the post flop edge is gone. On top of that, the situations where we're getting the chips all in are always dominated. This is not going to look good on the graph. Let's put it that way. Where's my table? Here you go. All right, table. That one. Where's my next table? That's weird. It didn't auto-reg me. All right, we play on. We play on. We play on. We grind more. Where are we at with this one? Let's do one of these. Beautiful. Talk about running into it. One sec, guys. This is gonna annoy me. It's not lined up. There we go. Winning red line is not a thing. That's not what I said. That's not what I meant. I'm saying I said a winning red line for me has never been a thing. You rude boy. Winning red line is definitely a thing. Winning red line is not a thing for me. It's never been my thing. Hilariously so. What's up, chummy? Respect all in. What's up? Look at this on the left, guys. What is going on today? What is this? Oh my God, it's absolutely unbelievable. It's unbelievable how many times we've run into it. It's crazy. We are just the worst, I guess. There's a chance we might just be really bad at poker, guys. Why are you raising this flop, you absolute monkey? Go on, bluff it off. Go on, bluff it off. I dare you. Bluff it off. Ah, we caught the bluff, though. He reps absolutely nothing when he raises that flop. He reps absolutely nothing when he raises that flop. What's up, Respect? Thank you for the follow. Good to have you here. I'm a monkey. I'm a monkey. Do you guys remember that episode of South Park? I'm a monkey. Give this monkey what she wants. Too much. Too spicy. That's right. I'm a monkey. Give this monkey what she wants. Zephian, hello. How you doing? Playing poker all day and we're losing away. But that's okay because we don't care. Try and rhyme that's okay with we don't care. We don't care. Go on, Jack 9 is the nuts here. Don't be silly. That's what I'm talking about. Forget about it. All right, this is a monstrous flop on the left. We are going to win this whole stack. We are. We are. King 9 is the nuts. Oh. I guess we just keep running into the bigger hand bat instead of being hit by it. That's exactly what's going on, buddy. You know it's Smeeble. I'm telling you guys, it hurts, but it's neutral EV. It's neutral EV. It's gonna happen in the same direction. The best bit is it's gonna happen in the opposite direction, but it's gonna happen in the opposite direction where your opponents aren't gonna shove enough and they're actually gonna call incorrectly as well. It's a ridiculously razor thin edge, but it's something. 7-4 suited let me down again. Now we gotta play another hand of poker. God damn it. Oh my, it's life tilt. It's actually life tilt inducing. Life tilt inducing stuff here. I can't find the right fucking table. God damn it. Open the right table. There we go. All right. Small continuation bet. Getting a check raised massive is not going to work. All right, we're playing for more money over here on the left. And we're going to start off with a steal. Ocho. Okay, so spins, limp button at 15 effective. What's 10 cent? Definitely noteworthy. We will learn from our mistakes next time. And Ace King is about to win the whole game on the left. All right. On the right-hand side. Oh my God, this is gonna send me like this is tilting me more than the poker. This is actually tilting me more than the fucking poker. Thank God for that. My goodness. 3, 4. We can't work with that. McLaurin says, in your database analysis, have you run across anything weird with the player tendencies? I've actually done very little population analysis. I've only ever sort of done Nick Walsh versus GTO analysis, if I'm honest. I would love to do more of that kind of thing. I would love to just do more analysis of my game, full stop. But I can't comment on it now. Hopefully this work that I do with Texas Tomo, when we get round to it, is gonna be illuminating though, and hopefully there will be some little nice tidbits in there for you guys to pick up on. Please have a 10 for the love of God. Oh my God, look at this flop. The most well-disguised hand of all time. I mean, there's no chance we can't just call, right? Who is this guy? Oh, okay, we got a note on him. We got a note. Got a little note here going, guys. Can we get a 50%er? All right. Should we get it in on the turn? Oh, baby. Let's go. 40 bucks in the bag. Lost the flip on the right. 40 bucks in the bag, though. We got 40 bucks in a bag of some variety. Okay, play again. Confirm. Oh my God. There you go. Boo, beep, 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 boop, beep. Doobie doobie doo. Doobie doobie doo. Doobie doobie doo. Ace Queen's good hands. Blah 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 blah. All right, well, there you go. Fold. All right, we're still calling the 6 tray. Why would you be all in here? This is not good poker. That is an immediate tag, I'm afraid. I'm afraid that's an insta-tagger. Because there is no justification for that. Wow, he's going crazy! He's going crazy. He's gone completely mad. That's right. We'll get him. We'll get him this time. We will get him, guys. Don't you worry. McLaurin says, my data shows most people open raising 4x or more often. They do with 9-9 Jack-Jack hands, while Queen-Queen usually doing 2x. In spinning goes? Is that in spins? Oh, I mean, come on now. Surely we can't fold this one. He's going to turn up with 6-7 or something, right? Is this how people play a 10 these days? I will accept a king tray. A no hand no draw is good. No hand no draw is acceptable, and we take it. Thank you. A no hand and no draw. Thank you, sir. Those games are going to make me feel better about myself today a lot. Just like ace deuce holding is going to make me feel really good about myself. On the right here, thank you. Oh my gosh, why am I a fish at 15 big blinds effective? I thought I was good, but apparently I still got a lot to learn. Ace queen is a good hand. I'm pretty sure we played this one right. But if we don't win, I'm gonna cry all night. Blah 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 blah. All right, let's get some money in the bank. Let's turn this down, swing away. Turn this down, swing around because it's not great. Shoving king 10, running into ace 8 doesn't feel very good. No, it doesn't. Okay, let's play some more spins. Nice. All right, we take it. We give it a go. And all right, not bad. That's on spins, but I don't get to play on stars, so there's more Rex on the side I play. That makes more sense. I mean, that is kind of wild, McLaurin. Although, okay, so I don't know about 4x, but definitely in a pool where there's more recreationals, people opening bigger with strong hands, like for sure. And like a lot of times, it's like you said, pocket nines, like people who are like, I don't want to play this post. I'm just gonna make it really big. As an open, there's actually plenty of strategy where you use bigger sizes from out of position, but I'm assuming you mean opens, like you said. Give me a flopperoo here somewhere, guys. All right, we're gonna raise this one as a bluff, and we are gonna use one of our silly sizes. We're gonna use one of the silly sizes. Spitting absolute bars, bro. Thanks, mate. Thanks, bruh. Thank you, brah. Oh, we got a really well-disguised ace. If this guy's a 10 or an 8, we win the whole stack on the left. The whole stack. The whole stackaroo. The whole stackaroo. Imagine losing an all-in. Must be really weird. Oh, 5x multiplier. Huh. I'm going to lead here. And we're getting raised for some reason. I'm not really sure what to do now. This is terrifying. Oh, my God. Go on, put us in. Why does this one feel so bad on the left, huh? Should we save ourselves the 0.33 big blinds? Thanks for the follow. Chopik, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate you. Oh my God, turning trips and he's got a boat is just the saddest fucking story ever. In all honesty, like, okay, we're playing a spin and go. Like, it doesn't really matter that much. Does it matter that much? Not really that much. Probably not. What I'm trying to ask myself is, is this a spot where we should actually be considering getting away from like such a monumental cold deck? The way he plays his hand is so strong. Like, I feel so shit about the spot. I should actually be brave enough to actually fold there. For sure. I should have the confidence to play my hand that way. because the click raise on the turn is just never a bluff, and he's not going to do it with, like, it's not like we have a strong 9. It's not like we actually have a good 9. So it's just not very good on my part. I really should find a fold there. Like, I just know, how are we shoving ace-5 and being dominated by 5s? It's so fucking tilting. Tropic says, where can we see the progress? So I've literally only just started the challenge. I'm actually going to do an update tonight or tomorrow, and then you'll see the full lockdown. If you stick around to the end of today's stream, I'll just show you the results in the tracker, though. I'll give you a little brief update based on the numbers here. So since the start of the challenge, currently, I think we're probably down. We're down $130 so far, 160. We've played 295 tournaments. But our actual, like, EV in these games is not winning. Yo, Phil, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate you, man. So, yeah, we're down about 160 bucks. Thank you for the follow as well. SO15653. This one is still the raise. And we're calling a shove. Hopefully he's got 5s. That would be nice. Nice. Run the right end of that one. King high for the win. Oh, I will take it. So, yeah, we are only in the very early stages. 295 tournaments played. That's $2,950 of the 50K. This one is close to a call. It's not quite there. And, yeah, basically off to a really bad start. Our actual EV is bombing. Our dollars are bombing. But this challenge is going to be like that. It's going to be a roller coaster. And those that have been watching today... Oh, my God, get there, please. Nice, thank you. Those who have been watching today will know that we are just running into it for real. We are really, really running into it. Desperado. Curling Master, sorry, I didn't see your question. Are we running better today? Not running better today, but we are going to call the King Tray. This is definitely the correct call, although running into the dominating hand is what we're doing very well today as well. It's a good idea to have a command, though, Chopik. I'm gonna get a stats command, the one that you use. That's a good idea. We've seen this guy a couple times. I don't think we've seen him enough. We've not seen enough for him to deviate from the call. The King 3 of Hearts is actually a really good hand to call with in that spot. It's very, very good indeed. But running into the dominating hand is apparently what we're doing today. Yes, this is a trap for sure. Should be a good trap. For the 50 bucks. Yeah, boy, let's go. What was that? Limp with Queen 9. The Queen 9 should have been pushed on the left over here. That's a mistake not to push, just to call. Limp call is no good. All right, Queen 7's a fine call at the stack depth. Oh, my God, there we go. 80 bucks swing right there. Not bad. Let's go. Carry on, carry on. Everybody carry on as if nothing really matters. Oh, it's the wrong way around now. The other tournaments. Okay. All right, we continue. So there you go, Chopik. After that game, I think we're only down 90 bucks. Easy game. Easy game. Easy game. Yeah, we just looked these ones up. 15 bigs, very, very interesting tipping point. 15 bigs, a lot of pushing blind v blinds, a lot of pushing blind v blinds. This one's out. Winning flips is what we do. That's what we're going to do today. Winning flips. Yeah, winning flips is easy. The one thing I will say, I anticipate that there's going to be some seriously insane upswings in this as well as downswings. It's going to be a wild ride. All right. How do we want to proceed here? We're getting raised for some reason. Don't think he has king queen. Don't think he has ace 10 or ace jack. And for that reason, I think we're supposed to call. And then we'll let him blast off. Yeah. Story checks out. And we get rivered anyway. Well played, sir. Really well played. That was a very weird way to play that hand as well, I have to say. But we've done ourselves proud there. Nice. Got some value there. Two more questions. Am I in plus? No, not yet. That would be nice to get there. I don't think we're going to get there with this challenge though, playing tens. Don't think that's a thing. But I'm planning on doing more like this in the future. If you guys are enjoying this content and it's popular, I'm willing to play higher stakes and also bigger values. This challenge was originally meant to be 100K at the 25s. However, where are we at? This is fine, yeah. This was meant to be 100K at the 25s, but we ended up getting really far into the year, and I didn't have enough time to complete it, like, without completely busting my ass with all the other things that were going on. Thank you for the follow, Yeti. Yeah, we'll gamble the 8-6 guys. Wish me luck. Diamonds are live. Diamonds? Diamonds are forever. Let's go. Yeti said, is calling from the small blind not a bad play with 15 big blinds? Just asking. Definitely going to be part of a good strategy. Like 100% GTO approved. Heads up and also blind v blind multi-way. 100%. Yeah, definitely a call here. This guy was clearly obsessed with going bust on these boards for sure. We got him here on the right for one big blind left. Definitely a push here at about 8-ish effective. You are not the first person to ask that kind of question though, Yeti. And look, I invite questions, no problem. You don't have to justify it by saying just asking. It's all good. Wait, before we proceed, let me actually get some notes on that guy because that was wild. Guy was playing kind of wild, if I'm honest. Trap with the 9s. We're on the right side of it here. Guess not. Blowing up. Raise, C-bet. ISO, pot with a second pair. Turn and fall, excuse me. It was not turn and fail. Turn and fall, what's up? Thank you for the follow. Take this one out. All right, got a note there. Yeah, that's fine. Button folded your small blind versus big blind. Really, can you explain how? So it's important that we play. Okay, so in short, and whenever I say that, it never ends up being a short conversation. We have to call a jam here if he pushes, by the way. Otherwise, we'll play a nice hand in position. Zwinski said, you catching up top 10 leaderboard yesterday. So I wasn't aware, but I won $30 today, so I must have been up there. I'm not sure where I ended up. Oh, that's such a good turn. Sorry, Yeti. 1 second, buddy. I'm not ignoring you. I would really like to get some value from this one. It's annoying. So in short, Yeti, we know that that's true because they've done the math, they've done the science, they've done the GTO. But generally speaking, we want to be able to play as many hands as possible, as profitably as possible. And in order to widen a range, it's important that we integrate a combination of both stealing and limping, right? Because if we have a razor fold only strategy or a shover fold only strategy, that means that our range becomes very narrow. If we're playing shove or fold, that means we can only shove hands that we know will be profitable, like in a vacuum. If we have a raising strategy, we can sneak in a couple more hands that can sort of be bluffs, but it also means that we have to have a narrower and stronger range overall. It also means that we're not allowed to have any traps as well. It means we're not incorporating or including a way for the computer to allow for us to actually, like, trap people when we have aces, kings, and stuff like that. This is so annoying, these spots, guys. It's going to be a chop most of the time, but this is what I'm talking about. This is what's going to hurt our EV, like, in the short run. It's just going to look like we're complete morons because we keep making, like, perfect normal calls. So basically, if we incorporate limps, it means we can play a much wider range of hands because we're giving the computer an opportunity to, like, incorporate those. Our range doesn't need to be as strong. It means we can have more traps. At some point, as you get shallow, if you're looking at the output, you're basically going to see that you're going to play mostly push or fold. But that doesn't happen strictly until we get extremely shallow. Like under 10 big blinds effective is where we see mostly just push fold. But even down to like 10 or 9 big blinds effective, there's still min raising happening. That's still a thing. Explaining how is tricky because it's very stack depth dependent. So 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, like the actual output is very, very different. So it's not something that's easy to explain away, like in terms of the entire range. And blind v blind, we do a lot of limping, a lot of stealing, not all in, a lot of shoving. There's a huge blend of stuff if you're looking at the actual breakdown. I guess the answer, oh my gosh, come on now. Oops. I guess the answer is trust me, bro. But you can trust me. I've played a lot of spins. If you're new to the stream, here you go. Let me show you. So this is our day in chips, which is making me very sad. This is where we're at so far, guys. We're almost breaking even in the EV here, which means even if we're breaking even in yellow line here, it means we're still losing after rake. But like I said, we're running pretty poorly today in terms of cold decks and stuff, so this is not going to be representative. If we look at our larger graph, though, you can trust me, bro. Trust me, there's limping. These are our long-term chip results in spins specifically, but obviously now we're trying to play with the new merged pool. Doesn't that mean you should also limp strong hands? That happens if the big blind raises. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you have to balance it, right? If as soon as you include any kind of move in a spinning go, in poker, let's say that you're trying to play a strategy that includes limps because you want to have traps. Well, that means you have to have traps in order to make it believable that you also have weakness, right? But if you do have traps and your opponent knows that you have traps, it means that they can't be as aggressive versus your limps, right? So people might teach you something like, if you're going to enter the pot, you should always enter as a raise. Well, that's true in many situations. In fact, most situations, especially if we're deeper stacked, especially if we're playing on a larger table. But as we get shorter handed, we can incorporate more of these things because, we want to have a methodology that includes all the moves if possible and if it's actually feasible, at that stack depth. 15 big blinds is actually still not ridiculously short, especially in a short-handed game like this. All right, so let's carry on. At what point can you not call your? At what point can you not justify calling yourself unlucky? I.e., how long can a downswing last in terms of binds? It depends what game you're talking about. In spins, before I would say, there's two important things to note here. So in spinning goes, when you're playing regular speed spinning goes, 100 buy-ins, 200 buy-ins was possible, but quite infrequent. So if you're a winning spinning go player, a 200 buy-in downswing would happen, once in a while, but it would be very infrequent. But we don't need to do that. We don't need to guesstimate based on downswings. We track our profit and loss in chips, and then we can actually calculate like profitability from that in spinning goes. Oh. I don't know this guy, but we're not folding yet. Okay, so at this point, what he's trying to say is on the flop, he's got the queen of diamonds. On the turn, he's got the jack of diamonds. Okay, the story's changing too much. Yeah, story changed too much there. The queen of diamonds is a particularly important card because it's meant to be what he's representing on the turn when he barrels confidently. Will he have the jack of diamonds sometimes? I guess so, but also even when people end up having like 10 or the 9 or the 8, even those hands start to get a little bit touchy about continuing. So they actually end up becoming a check on the turn quite often. So yeah, basically, Yeti, if we're playing these kinds of games, if we're playing sit and goes in general, we don't need to say, but go, oh, I think I'm just being unlucky. And then after we lose 400 buy-ins, we go, I guess I'm just not good. We can actually look at our chip results and base like some facts on that, right? So we go, I've played 5,000 games. I've taken a look at my results. I'm winning more chips than I'm losing. How much more are you winning? Well, okay, that should have some indication on your profitability. So we don't need to sort of guesstimate based on how much we're winning or losing over time. I think we're allowed to barrel twice here. Let's do this. And then he's going to have 6, 5 with the 5 of spades. Nice hand. Nah, Chopik, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's part of the stream. It's part of the stream. Do I only play sit and goes? No, I play all forms of poker, but I am a sit and goes specialist, I suppose you could say. This is what I've played the most of. Heads up, sit and goes, 6-handed sit and goes back in the day, full ring sit and goes back in the day. Spinning goes tons. Also, doesn't this strat kind of only work with bigger binds? Isn't there a more profitable way to exploit lower stakes? Yeah, of course, but I'm not talking about what we should do. Like when I'm talking about GTO as a baseline, or when I mention it, I'm talking about it as a baseline is what I'm trying to say. So like, the initial question is, are there really limps at 15 big blinds effective? The answer is absolutely yes. But if you're not incorporating those, it's not because it only works at higher stakes or it's only good against good opponents. It's because like it's actually really bad not to. Like using GTO as a baseline usually indicates a lot of what we should be doing, and then we can deviate. But in response to that question and the strategies I'm discussing, like a lot of it is just common sense and just adjusting for your opponent for sure. Poker, if it's played as GTO, it means nobody wins, right? Like GTO is only a guideline, a basis. But there's some GTO that is like gospel, and if you're not doing it, it's a fucking huge mistake. And then there's some GTO that is like, it doesn't align with reality, and that's where people get really confused. A lot of people will say, I never learned GTO because I'm more of an exploit player. Well, that's fine, but if you're approaching a situation and you don't have any idea how to go about doing it, like it's very difficult to justify that your instinct is going to take you there when there's a lot of things that are instinctually not happening. In this kind of a format that's this fast, GTO will have a very prominent positive impact on your win rate, though, because a lot of it is just math. No problem, Yeti. I'm happy to help out, dude. So here we go. This is another 2x multiplier shove, 8-5 suited. Definitely needs to go in here. You can see how much equity we have when we run into the hand as well, which is always nice. Lovely. Let's get back to the multi-tabling. Everyone feel free, obviously, to ask questions. I'm happy to pause. The cool thing about playing spins on the stream is that we can discuss stuff, and we can kind of like stop and start a little bit if we need to. Sorry, guys, this is the wrong table. There we go. If you actually just want to see what the ranges look like, on my website I do sell a chart pack, which will pretty much be everything you need to play Spin and Goes forever. Just one purchase, download, and that should answer a lot of questions. In short, though, are there limps? Yes. And also, heads up, people are astounded at how wide the range is and how much you're supposed to limp. And again, if you don't incorporate limps, heads up, then there's no way that you can play enough hands to be optimal. Like, it's not even close. I'm going to trap check here. If he's not going to bet the turn, it's so hard to sort of figure out what we're going to get value from, right? If he has a big club, he'll probably rep it now as well. If he has a queen or a 10, he probably bets it on the flop of the turn. I think this is the best way to actually try and get value, basically. And now just hope that he calls us with like a 6. Nice, we got a little value there, but I'm not a huge fan of checking turns in general when we have like a hand that we want value from, but when your opponent plays that hand in that particular manner, I think it's quite specific how far they are from, like, you know, a 2-street hand. This is actually getting really close to a push now. We looked at this spot earlier on. I'm going to just do it as a min-raise against the unknown player, though. This one's definitely a push. Best analogy I've heard is that GTO is like a shield, not a sword. There's some wisdom in that. 2 pair on the turn is nice. We can definitely size up the turn here now. No action, I'm afraid. I would say GTO is a guideline. GTO is like how a smart person plays poker if they've never played poker. Oh man, this is so ugly. Fucking hell. Calling is really, really hard here. Oh man, it's brutal. I think the call fold is correct. So, Yeti, if your question was about Spin and Goes specifically, yeah, you definitely want to have a proper bankroll. And the swings in the modern version of Spin and Goes, so Spin and Goes, if you didn't know, just got merged with Flash and regular speed became merged. That means, like, basically 2x, 3x, and to some extent 4x is Spin and Go Flash. And that means the swings are way, way heavier than they would have been otherwise. The swings you can expect from the new version are kind of remain to be seen, but I think enough people have done simulations that it's gonna be pretty wild. Can we win a flip? Oh my god! Not winning flips here apparently. Oh, this is so annoying. Getting the right table is tilting me. There we go. Why aren't you limping the button? We're about to find out. Cool. Limp fold at 15 is interesting. Definitely want to know about this for future limp folds. Button, multi-way, 15 effective. Is that a good analogy? GTO is how a really smart person would play poker if they'd never played poker. I don't know, probably not. Francis is asking, are reg speeds still available? So no, they're merged now. That's the whole issue. Right, so this is a steal like this. We managed to dodge a bullet with our 10s over here. We should have actually had this all in against at least one of these players. So no, the whole point is 2 Tuna, thank you for the follow. Basically, reg speeds and flashes are merged now, which means that the speed and the length of the game is based on the multiplier. Which, yeah, it means you can't pick anymore, basically. So you will play some reg speeds, but they have to be a 5x or higher, which in my opinion is too much. That's too much flash for me personally. Nice. We did manage to get a little bit at the end there, although it is hard to say whether or not that was the best way to play it. Ace Queen is a good hand, though. Can't win a flip, though. I had such a rough live session. Was way down to my last 80 euros for the night. 2-2 blinds. Are you playing cash? Yeah, I love cash. Big cash game fan. Shoved from the button after some limps with ace king off. Player in the big blind looked at it, said, "I'll grant you that much." After calling with 7-8 off, hits 7 on the river. 7 on the turn as soon as I show up. What's up? What's up, Brandon? Good to see you, buddy. The fact that another player basically makes a donation to you at the table is kind of telling you that how rough. Yeah, I mean, you know, it kind of is what it is. Sometimes poker is just annoying, dude. Sometimes poker is annoying. Yeah. When does the main event start? Good question. Let me open up my Poker Go really quick. Poker Go, log in. Yeah, we just looked at this one, right? We just looked at this one. No, this is wrong. It's 8-9 off plus, isn't it? Stupid. Okay, we win because we're a genius. There you go. Ten deuce is still in the range. First time chatter says, "I think you are the only guy who is in profit from lose and go." I mean, in profit lifetime maybe. In profit for this challenge, I am not. I'm afraid I'm actually not doing very well at all, and it's not even like I earned it. I haven't even earned the edge. This guy is gonna lead. I'm gonna float here because I don't really buy what he's selling right now, I'm afraid. So we're gonna bet 1.5 on the turn, and we're gonna shove the river if he calls. God, just the 10 high float, no big deal. The guys who think the 1 million are probably up. Yeah, good point, Brandon. Well said, well said, well said. Pocket trays, let's go. You want Kenny or Luca? I mean, I want Kenny or Mizrachi. We're going to limp the king jack. We're calling a jam as a trap, though. I want Kenny or Mizrachi. Oh, does he semi-bluff if we check? Let's actually put a little check in there. Gone. Semi-bluff. Do it. All right, now we can jam. Nice one. Beautiful. Small ISO at 9 big blinds effective with the 10s. And obviously, we're going to go broke on pretty much any flop. We still have to go broke on this one, mind you. But we're going to give him the rope. Wish me luck. We're going to give him the rope, he said confidently. Did you see that? Did you see that, chat? Gave him the rope. We absolutely gave him the rope. We're going to limp because we're being unbalanced as hell with the kings. Can Doc Taka actually make a mistake here, though? I feel like this guy plays a lot. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. We managed to get a couple extra big blinds in there. I didn't foresee that bit. That's really funny. That's really funny. Anyway, that's going to look good on the graph, guys. The pocket tens, the no hand, no draw queen is great. The no hand, no draw queen 6 of spades is fantastic. And we definitely want to note this down because this was a big one. Also, donk, lead, dry, give up, X1. Oh, sorry, I'm slow rolling this guy over here. Sorry, dude. Hold. Let's go. Yeah, let me take a look in a sec, Brandon. 1 sec. Wrong table again. God damn it. I saw on YouTube it was planned for 6 hours. Let me see. Next event, yeah, 5 hours, 30 minutes from now. Yeah, oh man. Of course they wake up with ace-5. They wake up with ace-5 as soon as they're shallow. Get stacked anyway. Let's go. That's better. All right, more volume, please. I want to play more poker, please. My God. Margette's winning would be so good. Okay, look, there's a lot of people I want to win on this table. I do want Team Pro to win, though. My colleague and friend, Kenny, I would love to see him take it down first. Love to see Leo get it. I've done commentary on Leo so many times. We've never met, though. I'm sure I would love to know the number of times that I've said whatever Leo wants, Leo Margette's, because Joe said that once and I can't stop saying it ever since. Because whatever Leo wants, Leo Margette's. All right, Ace Tray, Simplification Station in the 2x multiplier. Hello? There's somebody in my house. Last year I wanted Lena to win. Gotta love a Lena win for sure. Nope, not this one. Gotta love a Lena win. Gotta love a Lena win. Francis agrees. Yeah, I feel you, man. Got to agree. All right, so we know, yeah, it's basically tonight. So it's 5, yeah, like 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock UK. $10 UK, baby. This is still, yeah, it's the 7s up that we raise, right? 7s up is not all in. How are we running into fucking jacks here, bro? This is so annoying today. This has been all day. I don't mind losing flips, okay? I don't mind getting in a little bit of 60-40. But we keep running into the actual 80%ers. Just leave me alone. All right. It's not quite enough to call. Is Rocky doing PPC and then the main double would be legendary, says Ed. Yeah, come on. Absolutely legendary. I was saying to James Hardigan on stream the other day, about like one of my very early exposures to poker was a PlayStation portable console game that was actually it was poker based. It might have been a WPT thing, I'm not sure, but they had Mizraki as a character on that you could play against. That was before I knew like any real names in poker at all, so it would be kind of interesting for him to do it. Yeti says, how much does a big multiplier change your strategy, if at all? So theoretically, it shouldn't really change your strategy much. However, because of the merge, the higher multipliers mean that we actually play deeper stacks. So if you don't have as much experience there, you're not going to do as well because that's actually a much more skilled version of the game. Can we hold? Don't want to set. Don't want to set. Let's go. So does it change? It does, but only out of necessity because the actual blinds are, you know, we have more big blinds to begin, basically. However, this is still a call. Yes, it is. Does your strategy change to higher multipliers? If you're playing against unknown players you know are probably recreationals, then you can adjust to be more aggressive against those players because they're going to be tighter because they're worried about the money they're trying to play like more sensibly to win. This is going to be a check. So that's pretty much all that changes. Otherwise, you just play whatever you believe is optimal at that stack depth in that situation, and you adjust for your opponents as usual. This is definitely still a float. Queen high with the back door. 2 back doors. And then we can definitely consider bluffing. I would say that probably once they check the turn, they end up being pretty weak. I think an overbet there is kind of cute as an exploit as well. Safe to say that that's pretty unbalanced for us, though. Let's do a raise right here, right now. That's a pretty bad turn, but check in. If he has an 8, which it feels like he does, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we're going for value now. I think. Well, we've got a pretty shit 10, to be honest. Nice, we got value from that combo. That works for me. Governor 460. I was going to say he's got to be from the UK, right? People generally start shoving blind when they spin the 1 million prize pool. Love that. All right, peel the king 5, call the queen deuce. I think it's just enough here. So we can shove 9-7 here against the unknown. We're just going to limp. Calling him in ISO against an unknown is really dangerous here. Okay. Fold that one. I think barreled. So hard to play back against that. This is a hand we should probably go broke with most of the time. On the right-hand side. That is very unlucky on the left, guys. Very, very unlucky indeed. Can we negotiate our way into this one? Snap check on the turn. Same hand, all in. This is definitely a push as well. Bad turn on the right. I think we're just going to do this. We are ahead. Unlucky on the turn. Robbed on the left. Jack 4 is enough. This is another perfect example, guys. Like, how in the fuck are we 2 big blinds deep with Jack 4 of hearts and we get it in against Jack 6? Like, we're actually still dominated. It's so ridiculous. We crushed that game, though. That was a good one for us. And let's go ahead and kick off another game. Let's keep the action coming here, gang. I don't really have a plan for how long we're streaming for, guys. I should probably message my girlfriend and see what she's up to. This is one. Oh, shit. That's annoying. Small bets. Not sure why I'm getting min raised on this board. So we're calling. Do we have the nuts now is the question. Do we just have the nuts now? Do we just have the nuts with King Jack of Hearts? Do we just have the nuts? Is it even possible to lose? Nice hand, buddy. So, yeah, that's a good hand, sir, and you can have it. The flat with the a6 is already going to be a slightly unconventional, but I do want to just play that one out as normal and then play that one out and have a note for future because it's obviously also going to be a massive tell. When they call with the a6 and then min raise the flop, it's going to be something that is part of their game all over the joint. Like when we get min raised by that player, we just know we're toast basically. So I pay it gladly. Pay it gladly. How long have we been on for now? 3 hours, 30 minutes. Should we do 4 hours? Let's do 4 hours and then we'll reassess. Man, these are such tough spots as well I've been finding myself in. We've been on this string of like making standard shoves, standard calls, being dominated every time. And then also being in a lot of spots against regs where like we have to call with bottom pair and then they have the perfect barrel card regardless on the turn. Just moon raise here. Start small. Is ace queen any good? This is not how you play king 5, sir. Oh my goodness. That's fine. Wow, still a fold there, huh? Wow. Give us something to finish. What? Okay, we keep getting walks, though, so it's not actually impacting on us that much. Spade. Spade! It goes full. We have no hand for like 5 hands in a row. He gives all the big blinds back and then has 10s against queen 9 for 4 bigs. Okay. All right. Story checks out, gang. Good job. Well played. Very deserved. Mad skills, dude. Mad skills. Should we outplay him in this pot now? Let's outplay him. Watch this, chat. Okay, we're going to outplay him. Here we go. Can't keep us down. Can't keep us down. Can't keep us down. Can't keep us down. Outplayed. You can wait for a good hand all you want, buddy. You keep waiting. You keep waiting for your good hands, all right? You keep waiting for those good hands. Okay, get the outplay in here. Ended up getting outplayed. Oh, for fuck's sake, it's absolutely ridiculous how we run in this game. Jesus Christ, mate. Oh my god, it's constant. It's fucking never ending. Oh, what is it like just to have the hand for every fucking occasion? Feels fantastic. Feels real fantastic, I have to tell you. Feels real. We're dominated with Trey Deuce as well? Is that what just happened? Is that how that worked out? Is that how that works? We're just dominated all day. We've got 2 big blinds, and we're all in. We're forced all in. What are we going to do, guys? We've got 2 big blinds. Still dominated with Trey Deuce. We're still being dominated with Trey Deuce. It's absolutely wonderful. Still dominated. What's up, Pete? Good to see you, buddy. How are we getting on game-wise? Courageous is a word I might use. I would say we've been very courageous. We've been a really brave boy. I've been a really brave soldier today, Pete. I've been a really, really, really brave soldier. I've been a really brave soldier. Yeah, I haven't considered that yet, Curling Master. That's the next level. That's the next level. We put in a little check raise there. That worked. That was nice. It's always nice when that works some of the time. Do this one here. This one here. Go on, give him pocket 10s now. Give him the 10s. 6. Nice hand, buddy. Fireox folding the entire deck. Fireox folding the entire deck. 13, 14. There we go. King Deuce. Oh, he's got aces! Back to 2 big blinds. Outplayed again. Outplayed again. Back to 2 big blinds. Outplayed again. And aces. Back in the game. Even Stevens. Oh my god, it's glorious. It's absolutely glorious. Tom says dominated with trade use doesn't seem that hard. It's really hard, Tom. It's actually really hard. Dominated as in like actually locked up. Dominated as in like they have King Deuce. Queen Trey no good. Queen Trey no good. To be fair, Queen Trey no good there. Queen Trey no good. The official brave soldier boy of PokerStars. That's me. Spade. It's never coming. This guy is destined to win this game, I'm telling you. Good to hear, mate. If anyone can clutch success from the jaws of defeat, it's you. That's me, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate the vote of confidence, mate. It means a lot. Thank you, Pete. God. 7. I want to win this game so bad. Let's go. On the left. On the left. Nice hand. How many games have we played today? How many games have we played today? Day apply. Yeah. We have played 71 games today. That is not insignificant. That is really not insignificant. I will accept that. But I'm thinking probably might quit after these 2 games. I think I'm starting to feel a bit tired. I am not as strong as I used to be, it seems. I'm not as resilient as I once was, apparently. Two tabling for 3.5 hours and I'm done. Man, it's embarrassing. It's actually embarrassing. I wanna know where the red line comes from in these games, man. I don't see it. I don't understand how it's possible to have a red line in this game. Let's go, ace-5. Let's have a little bet here. Oh my God, 10-7, stacking us. All right. Pocket 10's any good? Well, what's going on here? I did not just min-raise. What? I didn't. What the fuck? What? Whoa, what's happening? I am not clicking. What is going on? Okay, guys, I did not click the button once. Did I accidentally just bluff this guy? That's so ridiculous. I wasn't clicking anything. Oh, that's actually hilarious. That's actually hilarious. That is too funny, dude. That is actually too funny. Come on, you call with an 8. Oh, that's hilarious. I'll take it. I'll take the chips, though. That's cool. I've never had that before. I don't know what it was. I guess it was my mouse. Is there a hotkey? I mean, there definitely is. I'm not pressing it right now. It might be. Oh, my keyboard is running out of battery. Is there a cat on the keyboard? Yeah. I absolutely snapped the click in there on accident. He's like, I got to give him credit here. Perfect. All right, trapping ace-king suited. Can we finish with a win today, please? Can we finish with a win today, please? For God's sake. All right. Well, $30 in the bank, guys. And that was something. That was something. Let's take a look at some results before we wrap up today's session. And let's see how bad the damage was today. All right, let's take a look. All right, so today in chips, guys, getting absolutely brutalized. Yeah, there you go. Look at this, guys. So we managed to actually win a few chips in EV today. Ran a little bit under EV in chips, and the actual red line was just plummeting at one point. I find it really difficult to think that we've got so many leaks that we're just like making monster mistakes. I do honestly, sincerely think that since we kicked off the challenge, we got off to a great start, to be fair, in both dollars and in chips. But I just feel like we've had like quite a long string of like, this is a bad spot. This is a bad spot. I'm folding. It's a bad spot, and it's making us feel like we need to outplay people, which costs us more chips. If you know what I mean. But again, that's kind of like a long-term mental thing that we can work on. It's not a big issue. This was the chip graph, guys. If you guys haven't seen these before, by the way, the yellow line is EV. So this is the important line. This is a combination of our profit and loss at non-showdown plus our chips adjusted EV. So where we're all in and we have 80% equity, we theoretically have earned 80% of that pot. That is distributed into the into that line, and then it's actually mapped so that we only get our EV and not the outcome of the actual flip. It's a clever way to basically know whether or not what you're doing is going to be positive in the long run or if it's not going to work out in the long run. So we did manage to win a few chips in EV. Let's actually look at the overall chip EV. 9 chips in EV today, 9 chips per game. Honestly, I think that if we could get to like, 20, 30, 40, then we'd be super duper happy. Like a couple percent pre-rake back would be really good in a format like this. With rake back, obviously that number actually gets pretty good eventually if you can get that high. But yeah, we managed to sort of somewhat redeem ourselves towards the end of today's stream, but it was a rough one. We ended up down $100. Let's take a look at the challenge total so far. So this is since the challenge start. Down $100 overall. Graph looks like this. So, off to a pretty rough start, but you guys know we were running pretty bad today, and that's just the short run. We have to remember our long-term results is what's important. And long-term, we should be doing something like this. Long-term, we should be doing this, right? We just need to get over this hump. We've had plenty of flat spots before, like this and like this and like that bit. We're in a flat spot. It's annoying. What's going to happen, though, is this overall graph is going to have a bit of an arc to it because the actual chips that we can win in this format are going to be significantly less than in the previous reg speeds. Reg speeds literally had more chips to win in a game. So what's going to happen is these were all games played where there's 1,500 chips to win theoretically in EV. That means that this will be a sharper, more upward line, and then this will be a flatter line because there's fewer chips overall, and also the edge will be significantly smaller. So there you go, guys. We're doing the thing. We're kind of headed in the right direction, kind of, not really. We're heading in the right direction in dollars. In dollars spent. The 50K challenge. The 50K challenge is spending dollars. We've spent $3,130 in buy-ins so far. So, we're heading towards our 50K target, but hopefully we'll be running better in future sessions. Let's not get too bogged down in the short term. We'll have a proper conversation when we get to 1K. Yeah, we'll see what it's looking like then. In any case, gang, that's gonna be it for today. I'm gonna wrap it up there. We might do another one of these tomorrow, but also tomorrow, guys, don't forget we have the Spin Go Showdown over on the PokerStars channel. I'll also broadcast it here. If you guys haven't seen that yet, Showdown is actually a lot of fun. Basically, we get 2 PokerStars ambassadors to face off live on stream. They both play Spin Goes as many as they can in 45 minutes, and they basically race to gain points that'll go to the overall leaderboard. There's also some free rolls and stuff you can get involved with that are associated with that promotion. But yeah, tomorrow we will probably do that, and we'll see how we feel in the evening. But we do need to play 5K of these before the end of the year, so we need volume. And hopefully we'll build our way out of this sort of flatness. You guys can see here that overall in those 300-something games, 313 games, despite everything, we've still managed to have a close to break-even EV, which means that we should be losing in dollars, but there's a good upside here that's coming, I think. $349,000 today. That's right, GBR. How many games in total now? So that is 313 for the challenge. Thank you, Arn. Thank you, Footraiser, as well, for the follow. Appreciate it. Anyway, yeah, so that's it for today, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. More like this in the future. This is a long challenge. It's gonna require some grunt work here. I might play a little bit offline as well. Like I said, I think offline later in the evening probably is going to be slightly higher edge anyway because we're going to encounter more recreational players. There's an argument that maybe we should try and do more of these in the evening for the sake of the challenge. Middle of the day on a Tuesday or a Thursday or a Wednesday or a Monday, middle of the day on a weekday is obviously going to be a harder ask, and we should legitimately not be winning as many chips against those players. So we'll see how we go anyway, guys, and I'll do a mix of both to try and keep it fair. But yeah, clocking off for now. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.